Hi guys, good morning. My name is Kachi. As you all know, I am new here. I want to say thank you all so much for your encouragement. Thank you for your support. I'm super grateful. And guys, if you're yet to subscribe to our channel, kindly do so and also turn on your notification button so you will always be notified whenever we upload a new video. If you're yet to subscribe, kindly do so. Thank you all so much. So our topic today is going to be insecurity, the terrible state of insecurity in Nigeria. So the Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Abiodun Alabi, has stated that most motorcycle operators are criminals in disguise. Let's take a look at this video, guys.
Lagos Island local government. A total ban on this and all of the highways effective from the 1st of June. This is the first banning that we're going to be embarking on so that others know that within a short while, it's either they get out or they look for something else to do. And from 1st of June, there are LCDs that are underneath them. We're going to publish them. We're going to list all of them. And so we're given the notice now, right, where you can begin to do your recce, begin to do, your strategy. From the 1st of June, please, we want all of the Okada to be completely off this major road. Let people begin to make their own independent alternative. We have actually even provided those alternatives. We have bought last mile buses for them. Those are some of the things we said. They are effective, they are working. We have the medium capacity buses, we have the high capacity buses, and before the end of the year, we're also still bringing rail onto this corridor. So government has provided it. We've built terminals, we've provided jetties for them, and all of these things are also means, of alternative means of transportation. We will not sit back and ensure that, criminal-minded people will use that mode of transportation to now continue to perpetrate.
So there you have it, guys. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has announced a ban on motorcycle, as we all call it, Okada, in 6 different local government areas on Wednesday, after what he said was a menace that has not been abated. So last week, guys, somebody was killed on Admiralty Way, Lekki Phase 1. If you watched my previous video, I talked about it last week. So there you have it, guys. His name is David Imore. He's a sound engineer, and he was coming from a show with some of his friends where he met his end. I'm going to play this video for you guys to see what happened. It's really heartbreaking, guys. It's really heartbreaking. Look at this video of David Imore, the wife and 2 children. Like, how is she going to cope? We all know the economic state of the country right now. Things are really tough. It's really tough. It's really tough. Imo David is just 37 years old, a man that is just trying to fend for his family, somebody who went to a job and is on his way back and he met his fate. This is really sad, guys. This is really sad. The police has already paraded some killers. 6 persons arrested over last week mob lynching and burning of sound engineer David Imore. They've been paraded by the police command. Guys, this is heartbreaking. The suspects include the bike rider Dairu Ayuba, a woman Susan Moses, and other motorcyclists, Christopher Dauda, Joseph Teller, and Sunday Azi, as well as an alleged mastermind, Chigozie Anthony, were paraded with 7 other suspects arrested in the last 1 month for armed robbery, cultism, unlawful possession of firearms offenses, etc. Just name it. Just name it. The list keeps going on and on and on. A lot of people say, oh yes, I support the ban of Okada, I support the ban of Keke, I support the ban of this. But is that really the, how do I put it now? Is that really the solution to insecurity, by banning Okada, banning Keke, and all of those things? Yes, I know these boys use this means to rob people. They use Okada to do their own robbery and everything. But is that really the solution? Is that really the solution to fighting insecurity in Nigeria? I mean, let's not forget that this Okada and this keke is something other people use as a means of livelihood for their families. We have married men who use keke as a means of livelihood to cater for themselves and their children and their wife. We have bike riders who use this as a means to cater for himself, his family, and his bike and his children. Honestly, guys, do you really think this is the solution? Because I mean, some people are clamoring, yes, ban keke, yes, ban this, ban that, ban Okada. Personally, I don't really think that is the solution. I don't think that is the solution to fighting corruption. Because let's not even forget about keke. These things happens every time. Just a few days ago, a friend of mine told me that on his way to work, 6 a.m. on his way to work, he was robbed by some guys carrying firearms and cutlass. They took his laptop, his phones, they took him to the ATM, withdrew all his cash, and left him. So is this one Okada? Is this one Okada? At least this one is not Okada now. They used their leg to meet this guy and they did everything they did with him. Now just take a look. Just a few days ago, a yet to be identified body part has been found on the Muritala Mohammed Airport runway. Airport. A yet to be identified body was found on the Muritala Mohammed Airport runway. Nigeria is a joke. Nigeria is a joke. So there are no cameras. They could not even find who did such a thing. An airport as big as Lagos Airport. Now they go put body part of a human being and they don't even know the perpetrators. They don't even know who do this kind of thing. It's just unfortunate that Nigeria, I don't know if we're going backward or we keep going backward. It's just very, very unfortunate, guys. It's really unfortunate. It's so sad. Imo just met his death like that. And we were told that it's over a dispute as a little us 100 naira. They burnt him. They beat up his other friends because there were three in numbers. They beat up his other friends, three two other guys. They beat up the other guys. I heard they are still in the hospital. They are even yet to recover. And they killed Imo Daniel, just a 37 years old guy that went for a job and he was coming back from his job to look for his daily bread, guys. To look for his daily bread. It's so sad right now that you're not even sure of going out and coming back safely anymore in this country. You're not even safe anymore. You are inside the house, you're scared whenever you hear a sound. You're walking on the road, you are very vigilant. Who is walking beside me? Who is doing this? You're even inside the bus, you are scared because you don't even know who is who. You don't even know. You're inside the keke, you are scared. Everywhere you go to screams insecurity in this country. Anywhere you go to is screaming insecurity. It's so terrible, guys. Insecurity in Nigeria is alarming, is on another rate entirely. It's really alarming, the rate of insecurity. You're going to work, you are even scared. So where can safe for the country now? God be like say na only Aso Rock safe oh. But unfortunately, all of us no fit enter Aso Rock, all of us no fit dey the Aso Rock. Because everywhere, nowhere come be like say e safe at all. Nowhere. If you're trying to go out to do stuff, to have fun, you can't even go out to have fun without looking 10 times around you, like who is watching me, who is looking at me, who is here, who is there, because it can happen at any given opportunity. And these guys, they've grown so much that they don't care anymore. They just believe say nothing dey happen. I go do it, I go do you finish, nothing go happen. That's what they will tell you. Nothing dey happen. If I don't finish with you, I go just kill you throway for one side. Nothing wey you fit do. It's so sad. It's really, really sad at the rate of insecurity in the country. And I wonder what our government are doing about it. I wonder because whenever they won't pass road now, they are going with what is it called? They are going with security people all around them, blowing siren, people moving out of the way. So they don't actually face this type of thing we face on a regular day. So they can't exactly feel the pain that we're going through. That's why we're appealing to them. And that's why Ninja Watch is doing this that they are doing. So we can spread the word out there and let people know that this is what is going on in the country. This is what is going on. Foreign investors are even scared to come to Nigeria. May they not go kidnap them, or may they not go kill them or something. Let me even forget about the foreign investors. I believe Niger Watch family, we have a lot of people who live in the diaspora. I believe we have a lot of people who live abroad. Sometimes, are you guys not even scared of coming to Nigeria? Are you not scared? I mean, you're where you are, but you hear the news every time of what is going on. Somebody just has lived abroad for 10 years without any issues or anything. The moment he steps his feet into this country, one wahala or the other, is either they kill the person or they kidnap the person or something like that. So people are even scared to come and make investments in the country. That's how bad it is. So how do we even expect our economy to go up? How? How do we even expect the economy to
because of 100 naira after only attempting to separate a fight, one that he did not start. We are talking about the killing of 38-year-old David Sunday Imo, a sound engineer and a father of two who lost his life to an angry mob of motorcycle riders on the 12th of May 2022 along Admiralty Way, Lekki, Lagos. This happened pretty much the same day Deborah Yakubu was lynched in Sokoto, and almost in similar fashion. Except this was not because of blasphemy, but because of 100 naira, which is 25 cents. And the worst part of it all is that the person who was killed was not even involved in the initial chaos that caused this whole tragedy. He was only going to help his friends, but he was the only one who ended up dead. So how did all of this happen? Now, this is what we know. David and his two friends, Philip and Frank, were said to have been booked for a show at a club or at a bar known as the Beer Barn along Lekki in Lagos. David had already made it to the bar or club, wherever that place was, and he was setting up his equipment waiting for his friends, Philip Balogun and Frank. At the same time, Philip and Frank were on a motorcycle heading to the venue. Now, before they took the motorcycle, they agreed with the bikeman that the payment would be 400 naira for the both of them. And so they set for Beer Barn. On getting to Beer Barn, they offered the bikeman 500 naira, requesting for 100 naira change. But the bikeman didn't have 100 naira. And these boys were pretty much late for where they were going to. So instead of walking around looking for change, they offered the bikeman 300 naira and assured the bikeman that there were regulars around the venue and it won't be long before they'll find him again and give him his complete 100 naira. Unfortunately for them, the bikeman was not the learned type. He most likely did not understand the English they were speaking. So when the bikeman got his 300 naira and saw the boys walking towards the club, the bikeman came down from his instantly. And in that moment, it was said one of them swung at the bikeman, decking the bikeman to his face and causing the bikeman to slump. While all of this was going on, people were watching, other bikemen were looking, and instantly alarm was raised. And that was how things escalated. The boys were immediately dubbed Yahoo Boys and accused of attempting to use the bikeman for money rituals. Things only got worse from here. In an instant, bikemen began to troop at the sites, and the two boys, Frank and Philip, were held by the mob and told to wake the bikeman.
Guys, I'm really really sad about this. Like you just heard in the video, there was already an arrangement made of 400 naira, but at the end of the day, there was a dispute of 100 naira, and this led to this young man's death. This led to this young man's death. This is so sad. He has two kids, for crying out loud, not even up to 4 years old. How is the wife supposed to take care of two children in such an harsh economy as Nigeria? How? And what our Lagos state government can do is to ban bikes. To ban bikes. Is that the solution? Is that the solution? This happened right there in Admiralty Way. There were loads and loads of witnesses. There were loads of witnesses that can testify that, oh, Mr. XYZ did this. I'm heartbroken. Honestly. Let's continue watching this video.
Bikeman up. Because to them, they assumed the bikeman was dead. And the reason why they actually assumed the bikeman was dead was because just a week ago, or just a week before this incident, one of their fellow bikemen was said to have slumped and died for no reason. And rumors began to spread that it was because the bikeman had dropped two Yahoo boys, and that it was those two Yahoo boys that killed that bikeman and used the bikeman for rituals. That story was still fresh when this one happened. So a lot of the bikemen were under the impression that this was the same situation as the previous one where the bikeman actually died. And that was why they were so vicious with these two boys. For some reason, they believed these were the two boys who even killed the previous bikeman. And so things just got heated. Just a reminder, the victim that we are talking about, Dave Moore, was not even outside at the time. He was still inside the building setting up equipment waiting for his friends, which would make you wonder, how was he the one that ended up being killed, stoned, beaten, and set on fire? Ow. Well, we're getting there. While Frank and Philip were being accosted by the angry bike mob along Admiralty Way in Lekki there, at night to be specific, because all of this was happening at night, the crowd was only growing on them, and they were forced to explain themselves to the mob that they were not Yahoo boys nor were they ritualists, that the bikeman was the one who attacked them first and they only defended themselves and the bikeman fainted. And so they were made to wake the bikeman, they were made to, resurrect the bikeman, because they all thought that the bikeman was dead. Obviously, the bikeman had fainted and his condition was not something that would just wake up like that. And while they were attempting to probably resuscitate the man, the angry mob was pouncing on them, beating them, accusing them of being ritualists, and calling them Yahoo boys. The boys even told the mob that they had a show at the beer band there. They even had to even call somebody from the beer band, like one of the organizers, to confirm that, these boys were actually working at the beer band and that they were not Yahoo boys. And this is where things got bad for them, because when they called the organizer of the beer band, or when they called the people who invited them for the show at the beer band, it was alleged that beer band denied knowing the two boys. They claimed that the two boys were not scheduled to perform in their bar and that they've not even seen them before. And that was how things got worse for these two boys. Except they were not the ones who died. Now, Dave, seeing that his friends were stranded outside by a mob of angry bikemen, and realizing that the bear band had denied knowing them, had no option but to go out himself to see if he can vouch for his friends. Apparently, that would be his only crime, to choose to speak up and help his friends from being lynched by this angry mob, only for him to be the only one ending up getting killed by that angry mob. So when Dave went outside to speak to the crowd, he was trying to help his friends. Things had already heated by that time. His friends were even being beaten. He tried to explain to the mob that he was the one invited by their band to perform at their club, but he couldn't do it by himself because he had to invite his friends. Most likely he was the one who invited the two guys, saying that he was the sound engineer, saying that he was most likely the one that Beer Band could have hired, considering the fact that Beer Band themselves were denying the two boys.
Guys, you heard that already. This is really really sad. I see all your comments, guys. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Mommy Diaspora. Thank you all so much. I see the support and love. You guys are making me feel very, very much welcome here. Thank you, thank you all so much. Joshua John, thank you all so much. I'm really grateful for the wonderful comments, guys. Thank you all so much. We have somebody backstage by the name Engineer Ken. Engineer Ken, thank you so much for joining us today on Ninja Watch. Please, what is your take on this issue? Engineer Ken. Okay, I believe Engineer Ken is not ready. So, guys, let's go back to this and talk about exactly what happened. Is really sad that Oh, I see somebody else there. His name is Trooks. Thank you so much for joining us, Trooks guy. Thank you so much for joining us. We're talking about the insecurity in Nigeria. I don't know if you have been following the video. This video just showed how a mob beat and killed one David Imore coming back from a show over a dispute of 100 naira. This is so sad that is happening in a city as big as Lagos. It's terrible that this is happening in a city as big as Lagos. This is really sad. This happened in a choice area in Lekki Phase 1, Admiralty Way to be precise, over 100 naira dispute. Chris, thank you for joining us. What is your take on this topic, please? Chris, can you hear me? Can you hear me,
I can
Chris?
hear
What's your
you
take?
loud and clear.
Okay, please. I don't know if you have been following our video. What is your take on this video? The jungle justice that was melted out to David Moore.
That's actually so bad. Seriously speaking, it's so bad. I cannot even I can't express how I feel using words right now. It's actually so bad, and I don't know where we're actually getting to with this level of wickedness we have going on in the country right now. I cannot say that this is where we are going to right now. But seriously speaking, I think we need to stand up as Nigerians, as one. We need to speak up with one voice. This is not who we are. This is not the country that we hoped for from since after independence. This was not how we all dreamed to see Nigeria to be. Like this is so barbaric, seriously speaking. So for now, I cannot put my feelings in words. Seriously speaking.
Chris, are you there, please? Can you hear me, please? Okay, I think we lost Chris right there. Nigeria network, man, it's so terrible. Everything in the country is not just working, and everything is just not working. Engineer Ken, are you there, please? Are you ready to analyze the video for us?
Yeah, yes, I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning, Engineer Ken. Where are
Yeah,
you joining
good
us
morning.
from?
I'm joining you from the United States.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us today. What do
Yeah,
you have to say about the
I
video?
must say congratulations. You're doing a very fantastic job.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you so
Um,
much, Engineer
yeah,
Ken.
you're welcome. Man, this is it's so depressing. In this 21st century, people are still acting as if they belong to the Banana Republic. This is a failure of a government that's supposed to stand for its people to protect their life and property. You cannot do this in a civilized world. We don't belong to the Arab nations. Africans does not belong to the Arab nation. We are Africans. We have values for life. When you see these people they call the angry mob, there's nothing like angry mob. These guys are blood suckers. They are demons in human skin. If you're an angry mob, you know the house of your politicians that is savaging, the life of the children yet unborn in that country. He did not go to their houses and lynch them or hit on their gates, see their vehicles moving the street, stop them and say you're an angry mob. He didn't do all that. That is not an angry mob. These guys are evils. I think it's about time that we have to be speaking up so that there should be a penalty for things like this. So many people has been killed innocently. At the end, no one to face the law. Immediately they use the word angry mob or no gunmen, Fulani herdsmen, Boko Haram, use those kind name, and that will be the end. The police will find it so difficult to investigate it. The only way before they can work, it is when that person that is being killed family belongs to the elite. Meaning that if the boy's family has money, they can be able to buy their way through for justice for their child. You know, so listen. I always watch this guy all the time that is telling the stories. He's a very good storyteller. My sister, I'm so proud. I'm so perplexed. I'm speechless for this. He's so bad. He's so bad. He's so bad. Yeah, let me take my time for now. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Engineer Ken. Thank you so much for that analyzation.
Yeah.
It's really sad. I know we all are really sad about this kind of thing. And the truth is, if this has happened in a bush or somewhere outskirts of the country, they will say, okay, because that's in a bush. This happened right in Lekki Phase One,
Yeah.
Admiralty Way, a commercial place at that. This happened just on Admiralty Way. Is really sad that the insecurity in the country keeps getting high, and they feel there's no consequences for their actions. That's why they will keep growing wings to do what they are doing. I see you all in the comment section. Thank you, Favor. Thank you, Garin. I hope I pronounced that very right. You guys, I am new here and I'm seeing your love. Thank you all so much. I'm super, super grateful for your love. Thank you. Trust me, I do not take that for granted. You guys are really building my confidence here. Thank you so much, Osage Daddy. Thank you, KK Mama. Thank you so much. Faith Wilfred, thank you so much, and good afternoon to you too. Mommy Diaspora, thank you so much for your love. I see you. Thank you so much. What do you guys really think about insecurity in the country? How do you think this can be solved? Do you think it's something
Okay,
that can be
can I
solved?
say something?
Please go ahead.
Okay, sorry to cut you off. The thing is this: the problem that the genesis of that problem of this angry mom, to the way I look at it psychologically, is because our system is being compromised, and and we don't have no leader. I always say it. We have no leaders because the politicians are corrupt. That's the failure of the government. A government that does not provide for its citizens. A government that is their super corrupt. That everything they think about is their own pocket, allows them how to make their own account, getting fatter every day by day. A government that does not care if its own people has work, if its own people has food, if its own people have shelter. That's the failure of these politicians. No, their failure as the one that have caused this kind of means that we are passing through in that continent, Africa. As you can see, if these boys, if this young man has job, if this young man has work to do, you know, then you won't see them acting up this way. I remember far back in the 80s and 70s when I was growing up as a young man. When you are Fortnite, you can build a house. I know a couple of Fortnite that has a house at that time. I know a shoemaker that every weekend, every Saturday, my driver was sighting with me to take our school bags, school shoes down to him to fix. If there's anyone that is damaged, they will fix it, they will polish everything. Right there in the go. This man has a house. The man was married, and the man has a house. My barber has a house. All of them, you know, and you look at it this time, you know, can a Fortnite mow the block? No. Can a barber even think of renting 3 bedrooms apartment? No. These are the failure of government. These are the failure of government. $1 now is now 600 naira to $1. And 90% of what we take in that country is being imported, into that land. You look at it. So the boys are not smiling. The street is not smiling. Any little thing like this, you just pump them up to do what they want to do for evil. You know, so I just pray that some of them are hearing us, hearing what we are saying this morning, or this afternoon or this evening. Please desist from this heart. If you are angry, go after your politicians. Go after them. They are the ones that have caused you to be in this joblessness life. So it's so bad, it's so bad, it's so bad. The only thing that can solve this thing is to engage them, to engage the youth to work, is to engage them. There is no industries in Nigeria that is working. There's none. Do you know that Shell or Chevron in that country, they don't hire directly? The direct workers in those companies are not up to 25%. The remaining 75% staff that they have is being contracted to those ministers. They will give them the contract to those ministers. They will pay them to pay these guys. Sometimes these ministers will be holding them salary for months. And guess what? Chevron has paid them already, but they will invest that money or they'll put that money in their fixed deposit accounts to bear more interest before they can make a payment. This is not, I'm not lying. I have a family member of mine that I've worked with Chevron for over 27 to 28 years. Throughout his lifetime in Chevron, he worked as an under the sea welder. They are the one that go into that pipeline under the sea in Warri to weld. Those pipelines they use to drill oil. The contractor that they gave those contract to was one of the ex-commissioner for 27 years. As we are speaking, this man has been out of work for over 6 years now. And he has not gotten his salary for over 5 years. He didn't get no pension. He didn't get no salary for 5 years. And all of them team up together to take this man to court, to take the minister to court. Every year, the judge keep on postponing the case. The case is being adjourned every year. For over 6, 7 years. that they are training their kids. And the Bible says, what will it profit a man to lose his soul? This money that these men are acquiring, even their 10th generation cannot finish it if they decided not to work. This is too much. The greed of a black man is too much. I must say that I remember in the Holy Book of God, in the Bible says there's a point, that God says he regretted making mankind. I, for one, I would say the regret that the Lord said that he regretted creating mankind was black. It was black, not white that he regretted. It was black. You name it. Every black continent, Caribbean, Africa, Papua New Guinea, in Australia, you check it around. Black men are full of evil, with their evil hearts and a desperately heart. Their corruption, their ways of life is so demonic. It's really demonic. Even in the America that I live, if you go to any black neighborhood that is being run by black councilman, black council, black rep, black ministers, commissioners, it's not developed. The road is at worse and roads in Nigeria. The roads are not good. Nothing is moving there. But if you drive like about 5 blocks away from there to a white neighborhood, you see a different thing. Good road, good amenities, and everything. And guess what? The same government bring out the same funds for these two people. The black will just sit on it, or he will stop talking about it. All he wants to do is to wear designer shoes and designer suits and tie and speak big English. So I like what you're doing, my sister. I think we need more of these. I praise the CEO of this platform,
Thank
for adding more voice to the
you.
voiceless. So we need more of these every day to sanitize the hearts of evil men and to wake up the ideas and to change the narrative of our less privileged men and women, to change the narrative of the poor masses we have in that country, to change the narrative of the joblessness people we have in that country. If you give me a few minutes, yeah, I can really talk about the reason why a lot of us are jobless.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, we're here with you, Engineer Ken. We can hear you.
Okay. So a lot of our youth are jobless because of they are lazy to work. And if you look at when Mohammed Buhari says the youth are lazy, it is true. It is true.
I don't think I totally agree with that, but
No.
let's hear why you said a lot of youth are lazy in Nigeria.
Okay. I'm a job creator, and if I say so, I know the reason why.
Okay.
Mostly the youth from South, Southwest, Southeast youth, let's say about 50 to 70% are focused to work. But when you come down to former Midwest region, you know, Midwest region and Yoruba nations, the youth there, they are so lazy. All they want is to take.
Mm.
All they want is to take. You see a house that has maybe 1 or 2 person abroad. There are many young men there which they will just choose not to work. Even the ones that learn the trade, immediately if our brother or sister cross to Europe or America or Asia, they'll stop going to work, waiting
Mm.
for those ones to send them dollars. The day they refuse to send money or they don't have to send money, they have tasted that loneliness, then their eyes will start going after people's property. Those are the things that generate land grabbers,
Mm.
oppressors, thieves, theft, so many things. We know that the government has failed in their own,
Yeah.
but the citizens too has also failed. The determination to work is not there. Determination to be a job creator is not there.
Yeah.
So the few ones that are ready has no backup. Okay, let me take my own state, Edo State, as a case study. You look at our young men in that state, a real Edo man in that state. They are very, 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 very jobless, lazy. All what they know of is just to drink and club.
You said two things, Engineer Ken. Let me come in
Yes,
there, please. You
yes.
said two things. You said they are jobless and lazy. There's a person that is jobless. I don't understand how that person is lazy when the person is jobless. Being
Okay.
jobless is not when you are out of job, there's nothing for you to do.
There's always something for you to do.
Mm.
There's always something for you to do. There is money all over the places in that state, but they don't have no ideas because
Oh,
they don't.
wow.
Their mindset is not reset.
Mm.
Their mindset is not reset to see that job or to see that opportunity.
Mm.
When you tell an adult man to go into the waste bin and look for recycles, things like plastic rubbers, things like
Yeah.
metals, they will tell you I'm not going to do that.
Hmm.
He'll tell you I won't do that. But you see an Igbo man will come, he'll start doing it.
That's right.
An Hausa man will come, he'll start doing it.
That's
At the
right.
end of the day, he or she will pick up over 200 pounds, 500 pounds, 1,000 pounds of recycle, then he will go sell it to a recycling company. He will make a living from them. There is
That's right.
no there is no Benin man that is doing it because of pride.
Hmm.
Because of pride,
That's really sad.
yes, of course, because of pride. So there are so many ways to make money. We have vast of land to make farm. We have vast of land to make farm, and all of us that are from there, we have our own villages that our parents came from.
Yeah.
Those villages that your parents came from has lands that belongs to your ancestors. So if you go there, they're going to give you the land to farm. And even though you don't belong there, you can lease the land to farm. Why are they not going to farming? Why?
Hmm.
Agriculture will bring you food. It will bring you money. Why? Let me show you. Let me borrow this word from the book comment. For the past 4 years, I've been taking classes online about agriculture. That is
Mm.
not my thing. I'm a
Yeah.
civil engineer by profession, but
Yeah.
I take courses online, by agriculture. I do research of bamboo sticks. You know that 90% of those furniture they import from China
Mm.
to Africa to Nigeria is being made from bamboo.
Wow.
I'm telling you, being made from bamboo. There is no timber anymore. They're using bamboo sticks to make those beautiful furniture that you are seeing.
Wow.
Yes. When you're done, go into YouTube, type in bamboo stick from China and see what they are doing with it. You will put your hands in your head. You start crying. And these are the things that we set on fire in our places. We
I'm
don't
telling
see them.
you.
We throw them away. But it's a multi-billion. When I mean multi-billion dollars projects. I did over 1 year research and course of bamboo stick.
Mm.
You can't beat that. And these are the things that we have it all over around us. And if you have a bamboo farm, it's a very, very multifunctional farm that will generate wealth for you. Because bamboo stick, you don't need to water them. When you plant one stick, in the next 6 months, it will grow over 50 sticks in one spot. In
Mm.
one spot. We are not looking at that. We have a lot of refuge.
Mm.
And Indian, Bangladesh, and Thailand, I took classes there about garbage, about refuge. I didn't want to say this, but let me say it for the world to hear. And
Okay.
maybe somebody might pick an idea from it and make
Okay.
use of it. Because I'm doing this research and I'm keeping them to myself, but I don't want to be greedy. You understand? So I'll be
Thank you. I would
asking.
like to hear that.
Okay, you see, in India, in India, for the past 2 years I've been there. I didn't go there in person. You
Okay.
know, I've been there through my computer. You know, applying for school, going taking courses, applying and everything.
Okay.
The only thing I won't disclose the name of this company. I'll keep that to my secret, you know. But I only give out the idea. You know,
Okay.
this company, this man, this young man, he left school. He read chemical engineering.
Okay.
He worked for some time and he stopped working. The guy was 29 years old. He started thinking, what will I do? How will I create an employment? I
Mm.
don't want to be working for the British. How can I make my own money? How can I be my own boss? You know? And one of the things that we lack back in Africa is ideas. Most of our youth has no ideas. And the ideas they have is to open beer parlor or build up a hotel.
Our ideas are recycling.
The only people that has ideas in Africa are those old fathers.
Are those
You know,
what?
old fathers are old parents
Okay.
because the businesses that most of the young ones are managing right now, 90% of them are being created by their fathers.
Mm.
But the youth has no ideas. So I don't want to deviate from that. This guy we sort of almost start from recycling, picking up jets, plastics, metals, aluminiums, picking them from dump ground. He starts selling them, take them to every recycling company and make money. From there, he now lease a plot of land. He started make papers, make flyers. He started dropping it to restaurants, markets.
Mm.
Then people that has food stuff to throw out, they will tell him he'll come and pick them. Some of them that has trucks will go and dump their foodstuffs in that place. Then he will cycle them, he will sell. He now bought a truck, a dump truck. So that dump truck, he hired two people with him. He bought a plastic a bin, those kind of big plastic bin. He bought them, started giving them to restaurants, markets. So every evening, he will go there and pick those bins, dump them in his dump truck, and take them back to his factory to dump.
Hmm.
So then he started sorting out food items that are waste from it, plastic to one side. Then the food item that is waste, he will take them and dump them in a big tank. So that tank, he will close them up. He will close the tank. After a
Okay.
couple of days or weeks, maggots will start coming out from those food.
Oh wow.
So he will start picking up those maggots. Then those maggots, when he pick them up, he will sell them to poultries. He will sell them to people that have fish farming. They started using them to feed chickens, started using them to feed fishes.
Wow.
Then some of the maggots, they will take them and put them in a tent that has net. They will seal up that tent and leave them there. After a period of time, the maggots will now grow up to become a fly, the black fly.
Are you serious? Wow.
Yeah, the maggots will now grow up to become a black fly. So those flies, you will pick them up and sell them to pharmaceutical company
Hmm.
that they use in making medicine.
Hmm.
They're used in making medicine.
Wow.
Then, then the remaining waste bin, the remaining waste bin, it will sell them up and leave them to decay. Then, as it's decaying, the strong odor brings out acid, and
Hmm.
those acid, it was turning them to become gas to cook and gas to generate
Wow.
electric.
That's a whole lot.
Gas to cook and gas for electric. Then
Wow.
how was he doing it? The refuse in those tanks, they will form a pores that brings in those strong odors. Those strong odors, they will put a fan in it and subtract those acid. It's like an air. It will subtract them into a big balloon. So after taking them into a big balloon, from that balloon, it will not create. I didn't hold my book here. That is in my office. No, it will not create some certain things in that balloon that will not comes out. It just like you will not feed them into a cylinder. Those like if you have a cylinder that you use in buying gas, the
Mm-hmm.
gas for cooking, it will not feed them to a cylinder. From there, from that cylinder, it will give you gas to cook and
Wow.
gas to power electricity.
Are you being serious right now?
What I'm telling you, this is not fun.
That's
I'm
a
not
whole
playing.
lot.
I'm not playing. Then the remaining parts of those food, he will now blend them in a blender. After blending them in a blender, he will dry them up. That's the many waste product. He will dry them up. After drying them up in the oven,
Hmm.
then he will chop them into particles. Those particles will now become a feed. So chicken, you supply poultry, feed from those particles. It will supply the people that has fish. After selling those maggots, you will now also dry the food. It will dry them up and blend them into powder. and supply to fish and the fish industry, uh, 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 poultry for chicken. He supply them to people that are raising pigs. They buy it from him.
Hmm.
So that's how this guy generated over $2 billion
But
from
this
this
looks,
thing.
but this looks like a long-term something. I don't think in Nigeria we have,
It's
not
not
everybody have that
it's
sort
not
of.
a long time. It's an easy thing. I say long. It's a thing that will generate a long time work for you. It is winning, 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 winning.
All the way.
All the way. You don't lose nothing. Those food items, you get it for free. You're not buying it. You process it. You make money. It's all winning.
It's all winning all the way.
It's all winning all the way.
Okay.
Because of our stupid pride, because of the pride, we want to go into it. It's dirty, but it's wealth. And we have
Person
them
wey
around us.
person wey no get money, they complain about whether business is dirty or not.
My dear, you live in that country now. You live in that country.
That is really sad.
You live in that country. It's a fact. They'll tell you, say, me will be fine boy. I want to go put my hand for inside the
I
dirty.
did tell you.
Yeah, now me want to go through this one.
That's
Me,
really
what
sad.
you want to make those girls come like me? Make women come to laugh me. You
That's
know?
really sad.
Yes. So
We're
all those
going
things.
for Okay, Engineer Ken,
Yeah.
please go on.
Okay. So that one is the second one. That is the second one. When I was in Malaysia, I went to Malaysia. I went to go see with my two eyes what they did with our pakane and with our rubber plantation. When
Mm,
I went to Penang, Penang is a state that has border with Malaysia and Thailand. Now we drove for over 20 hours.
mm,
Right side was all pakane, left side was all rubber plantation. And
mm,
Obasanjo gave them this thing from NIFO in Benin in the 80s, early 80s, was it 1980 or 82, between 78 to 80 something. Obasanjo gave them that plant. But today, they are now number one. They are making palm oil from it. They are
mm,
making cream from it. They are making olive oil from it. They are making cooking oil, like the groundnut oil, from it. They are making soap from it. They are making sponge from it. That one is number three. Then number four, you see plantain. You see
mm.
plantain
Yeah.
in India and in China. They are using plantain. What they call it? You see, like the plantain stick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no. When you take down the plantain from the tree, then that tree is condemned. You have to fall it for another one to grow. So you see that stem that you fall down from plantain.
Mm-hmm.
They are using it to make wigs for women to put in their hair. They are using it to make pad. They are using it to make clothes.
Wow, that's a whole lot, you know.
And that plantain, this thing, you see us throwing it away, it will decay and become garbage. But these countries, they are using it to generate wealth. The power that you buy, the power that you buy in the market when you are in your period, 90% of them is coming out from that plantain
Mm,
tree.
wow.
The power that the cotton wool that you use to wrap your wound, the bandage. is coming out from that plantain. The
Mm-hmm.
weed that you put in your hair, that you call plastic weed, is coming out from that plantain.
Mm.
Some of the clothes that you put on is coming out from that plantain.
Wow.
You know, so our people, they their mindset is so dumb that they're not ready. So all these things that I'm telling you, you don't need $1 million to start it. You have to. Our problem as an African, we only create problems. We don't create solutions.
Mm.
But you see these white folks, they create solutions
Don't
to
you
those
think?
problems.
Don't you think? Don't you think the economy frustrates people's efforts to a point that your minds and your brains don't even get
No
to
way,
function anymore?
no
Don't you
way,
think
no
so?
way, no way.
Because these
It's not,
people, you don't think
no,
so?
no way. Let me take you back. I've been all over the world. What I'm telling you is real. In the 80s, in the 80s and early 90s, Nigeria was better than China. Nigeria was better than India.
Then what happened?
Listen to me. In the 80s, 70s, my Indian teachers, my math teachers in my school that I went to, they were all Indians. They were Indians. Some of them were because I went to private school. Some of them were from England. Some of them was from Canada, teaching us. But today, those people are raising themselves out from the third world. Those people, India have raised themselves out from the third world. China have raised themselves out of the third world. When I went to China, I was laughing. There were beggars everywhere. They were so poor. They're so poor. But in every two houses right now in China, in every two houses, there's a mini factory. Their president is not a professor in math in law. But we Africans, we go to school too much. At the end, we acquire nothing. Oh, the reason why we go to school to speak the English, but the ideas that we have is to steal from the nation, not to create wealth and not to create solution to the problems.
Okay.
But this people has lesser education and they went into transaction to create things. Look at right now in Africa right now. Chinese are developing Africa. The governments are loaning monies to every African leaders, to not leaders, to every African politicians. And they knew that these politicians, they will not pay that money back. That the next thing they will go after our properties and start seizing them to their own controls.
Mm-hmm.
So they have seen gold mining in Africa. Gold mining can be in real gold. It can be it can be in farming. It can be industrialization. It can be in our crude oils. They're all
Okay.
gold mining.
Again, this section with you has been very educative, and we're going to come back to you very soon. We have a lot of other people backstage, and we really
Okay,
need to hear your thoughts about this. We're going to come back to you shortly. Please just hold the bit. Thank you very
all
much,
right,
and
no
again.
problem.
For everybody in the comment section, I see you guys. I see your love and support. Trust me, I appreciate you. You guys are making me feel loved and welcome onto the Ninja Watch platform. I see you, Johnson Emmanuel, Victoria Onoha, Irene Finest. I see you. Iye Inyoge, one of Germany. I see you, Mommy Diaspora. Thank you so much. You've been amazing. Thank you so much for your love and support. I see you, Akim. Welcome to this discussion. Thank you so much for joining us today, Akim.
Hi, good afternoon, my sister.
Good.
Thank you for
Where are you
your
joining us from
sharing.
today, please?
I'm joining from Ireland.
Okay, Lagos, Nigeria. Where on the island? Where are you joining us from?
No, 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 not Lagos Island, Republic of
Oh,
Ireland.
Ireland. Oh, okay. I didn't get that. Sorry, sorry for
Why,
that.
why, why
Like,
you deny? Why you deny that highlight?
Engineer.
no, 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 not that one,
Um,
not that one. No,
okay,
there's
no,
nothing
not
wrong
on
with
the
Ireland.
island. Okay, pardon me there. You're so welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you,
Let
Kathy.
me,
We appreciate your membership and joining the Niger Watch family. We
thank
just want to say
you.
thank you for your services as well.
Thank you so much. Let me just quickly give you guys a recap of what we're talking about for those of us who are just joining us so they can know what we're actually talking about, please. So, you can already see that Imo Daniel is what we're actually talking about. He was killed some days ago in Lekki Phase 1, just on Admiralty Way. For those of us who are very familiar with Lagos Admiralty Way is like Lekki is one of like the elites, like you can say the rich people actually live there, the elites. And Admiralty Way is a commercial street. From the beginning to the end of the street, you have shops, you have offices, you have lounges, bar, just name it. So it's actually quite a busy area. So for something like this to happen in such place is really alarming. Let me go to you, Chris. What do you have to say about everything that has been going on, Imo's death, and what Engineer Ken also said? Let me listen to you, Chris. Please unmute your mic.
Okay, thank you for this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you.
Uh,
Where are you joining us from, Chris?
okay, I'm joining you from mainland, Surulere to be precise, in Lagos State, Nigeria.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Chris.
Yes. First of all, we are. What actually happened to this man is not something that we are very, very proud of as Nigerians. And I will tell you sincerely, sincerely speaking, it hurt me so much. It's something I cannot even put in words. The feeling I get from this particular experience, from what I just heard about, uh, from the killing of this very man, of this very guy, it's something I cannot really put in words to express right now. But I would like to, at the same time, talk about, because I heard Engineer Ken say something about Nigerians being lazy. I, I actually, I understand the part he's coming from, but I would like to really say that Nigerians are not lazy. The youths in the country are not lazy at all. I'll elaborate more on that. But I need you to understand, sir, that Nigerians are not lazy. The youths in my country are not lazy. If you go
Okay.
to Aba, if you go to Aba in Abia State, you would see a lot of talented youths doing a lot of things, doing so good for themselves, who just need a little funding from the government and
It's
not
backup.
to yes, just a little backup from the government to help them get to that particular point, to help them facilitate their dreams. We have a lot of good Nigerians who have amazing dreams, who have this great dream for the country and for themselves as citizens of this beautiful nation we have. But we do not have an enabling environment. We do not have an environment that would enable these dreams come to a reality. Take for example, if you go to some of our schools, let's just be plain, let's be realistic. Go to some of the primary schools in this country, in this very country, Nigeria. Go to some of the government schools. As a matter of fact, some of the worst schools right now in the country are the government schools. If you are to count, if you are to list the schools that you can consider to be the worst set of schools in the country right now, they are the government schools. So it's not like the citizens are not trying their best. Go to leave Aba, go to Onitsha in Anambra State. You see youths doing a lot of things for themselves, doing so well for themselves. Now we've been so subjected to the point that we just want to get something to eat. Nigerians have been so brutalized through corruption. We've been so messed up to the point that every regular Nigerian right now is just working to get something to eat. Just to get something to eat. Shebina, when you feel your belly, you go feed the think of other things to do.
That's a valid point, Chris.
You
Please go
understand?
on.
See, we have a lot of Nigerians who want to do much better, but there is nothing at the moment. There is no way they can be able to do these things. As a matter of fact, you cannot run a business in this country if you are not ready to lose for at least the first 4 or 3 years. You are going to run on losses. Like you, the government will frustrate you if you try to run your own business in this very country. Let's just be sincere. Some people that have tried to start up their own very businesses in this country, they can come out to tell you boldly how they've been frustrated by the government. Some charges that they keep on paying with the
Levies
profit
upon
they make.
levies, different sorts
I'm
of
telling you.
levies keeps
I'm
coming
telling
up.
you, seriously speaking. So you cannot run your own business. You can have a very nice, an ideal, you can have this very wonderful dream about this country and for yourself, for your future. But when you start growing and when the reality of this country hits on you, you will understand that we are more like we are in hell in this country. As a matter of fact, nothing flourishes here. It's as if everything that tries to rise up from this very nation, the nation does everything possible to pull it down. How many times have you gone online and you see news about the kid that invented some cars using wood? I think if you're going to be sincere here now, you probably have heard about some kids trying to invent a car using just by coupling wood together and trying to get the engine to enable the car work. We've also heard of situations where a man tried to build an airplane with by just coupling some wood together and all that. Like, go to some of our schools. Some of our schools right now, they have students who have amazing ideas. We have students who have amazing ideas, but we do not have the environment. The government cannot help you. Let's just face the fact. The government does not care about the average Nigerian. Okay, now in Lagos State now, just because of what happened to this man, which we are so pained about, the man
Exactly.
that was killed by the Okada riders. Yes, it hurts us as Nigerians. It is very painful. Nobody would like his or her family member to experience this. But can we just ask ourselves, is it even the way the state governor have tried to tackle this issue? Is it the right way for him to do it? Is that even the right way to tackle the issue? You are trying
It
to
sounds
battle.
right.
I'm telling you, to ban bikes, it does not make sense. You're trying to tackle insecurity and you are going back to cause the same problem that led to the insecurity, which is unemployment.
Joblessness, which
Seriously
right.
speaking, seriously speaking. So you're going to snatch their bikes away from them to do what? What do you want them to do now? Because there are some good,
Is
there are
there
some
an
good.
alternative being provided for them?
As a matter of fact, they will tell you there are alternatives, but when you look closer, you find out that some of these alternatives at the end of the day, okay, for example, there are sometimes that they ban bikes and they give them BRT buses. You know, these buses they call BRT buses and all that. So they give them these buses for them to maybe try to run for some time and then pay off the buses that they get from the government. Now, if you follow this through, you find out that if you are someone who have actually worked in the transportation sector, you find out that maintenance of vehicle is not something that it's not a child's play. It's not some kids kind of play. It's something that requires a high level of skill for you to run a transportation business in this country. But we have the government providing them with BRT buses, which they would have to follow a kind of payment plan to pay off the buses, because they would eventually pay for those buses. They don't just dash them those buses in Nigeria here. If they go, because the one that happened in Imo State, where Rochas sometime I think some years ago, where Rochas had to give some of the Okada riders some buses to ride in place of their Okada. Now they get to pay for these buses, but what you should ask yourself is, at the end of the day, would they still have something to go home with at the end of the day? Because you find out that they spread this thing maybe within the space of 12 months, 11 months, 10 months. Now, you have to pay for these buses. When these buses are everywhere and the population that they are meant to carry is not even, they don't even get to work enough to facilitate both the money they have to give back to the government and the money they have to go back to the family to feed their children with. So in this very issue now, I am not against the governor of Lagos State looking into this matter and trying to fight insecurity, but I think he's actually going about it the wrong way. I am not in support of him entirely banning bikes, but I think he's actually overlooking where he's actually supposed to be putting his attention on, which is on the security sectors. Our security agents or the agencies, what are they doing? Are they just going to relax, ban the bikes so that you can let the policemen relax and sleep, or what? They are supposed to sit up and fish out the criminals among these men. This is why they are being paid for. This is what they are being paid for. This is why they are being paid. So you cannot tell me you want them to relax while you ban the bikes. You entirely flush the bikes away. Now these people you are going to collect their bikes. What are they going to do at the end of the day? What do you expect them to do? They would go home and then look for one crime to commit to be able to feed. A regular Nigerian today is simply looking for a food to eat. Pack your bag. Okay, if you've been in Lagos, if you live in Lagos right now, you will understand what I'm saying very well. If you have a flashy car or you look somehow neat, you cannot walk from your house to your place of work without seeing one youth somewhere who is actually going to wave at you for either 100 naira, just to beg you for 100 naira or 50 naira. These are people who are going through a lot. They are faced with a lot of challenges, and it's not like they are not ready to work, but what to do is not here in the country at all. And the one they've been able to get for themselves, you're trying to snatch it away just simply because you want to fight insecurity. It does not make sense. It does not make sense at all. You're trying to rechannel the energy from where you're supposed to be channeling the energy, which is on the security agencies. They should sit up and do their work, not abusing Nigerians. If it is to abuse the regular Nigerians, you see them abusing some Nigerians and making them feel so inferior about themselves through the various methods that they keep on using. But to stand up now and fight insecurity is something they cannot do. So I am simply calling on the Lagos State governor, please, you need to do something about this. You need to do something about the banning of bikes, because it's definitely going to cause more crimes. I am going to tell you this. It's going to cause more problems for the state. I'm serious. Going to.
That's a very, 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 very valid point, Chris. Thank you so much for your input. We're going to get back to you shortly on that. Thank you for your input. So let's get to you, Mr. Akim. What do you think about this whole thing?
Good afternoon to you. I catch you once again, and my brother engineer Ken. I salute you a lot. Sorry, am I audible?
Yes, we can hear
Yes,
you.
you are. You are. How you doing,
Thank you very much. Hey, I'm good, man. I am happy Saturday and happy weekend to you, brother. How is it in New York?
Yeah, we're in Washington. I'm about to take coffee with Joe Biden. So.
all right, brother. I greet you. My brother that just finished now. Mr.
Chris.
Mr. Chris. Oh, good afternoon to you. I salute you. My sister Kashi, I'm going to apologize ahead of time because I'm just going to quickly make a contribution and I have something very, very urgent that I need to do. I won't be able to stay with you. I won't be able to stay with you all through the program, and I'm very sorry about that. Regarding the subject matters that we are discussing today, to be honest with you guys, I kind of agree with what Governor Sanwo-Olu did when it comes to banning the Okada, because at the end of the day, there's been an effort to try to regulate the industry, but the problem we have as a people is that we have this tendency to not want to do things the right way. So every time government puts policies in place, and then you see that the institutions that are supposed to enforce those policies are not doing their job. So I think what we need to understand again, on top of that, is that we live in a borderless country whereby our borders are very porous. A lot of these people who are doing this job, majority of them, sorry, I won't use the
Mhm.
word majority. I'll just say there are a lot of them that are not actually Nigerians.
Yes.
And the story that I've heard from people in Lagos is that if you are driving and these people happen to hit your car, you can't even stop to say you want to confront them. If
Exactly.
you try it, I say that if you try it, that will be the end of you. They will just you won't know where they are coming from. They will just start parking around before you know it. They will overrun you. So
Mm-hmm.
this is becoming it is becoming a very serious security issues. And as a government, the governor had to do something. So coincidental with the death of the other man, of that gentleman last time, we
Mr.
know
Daniel
where they just
Imo.
killed somebody, Mr. Daniel, when they just lynch him and then set him ablaze as well. So all of these things, the government cannot just turn a blind eye at them, because at the end of the day, one of the main priority of governance is the security of life and property. So the governor had to do something. Uh, Even taking into consideration Lagos as a cosmopolitan city, the direction that Lagos should be going right now is not a situation, not a direction whereby you still be using Okada as a means of transportation. This is a city that is trying to compete with some of the this is a city that is trying to compete with some of the best in the world. So for me, I support that the idea of banning, and this idea that it is going to cause insecurity. It is already an insecurity matter. That is why we are debating it. This is a problem whereby people are not even comfortable around this certain element in the society. So it's already a challenge security-wise to the people. So the governor had to do something, and I think it is a very good decision, because don't forget, this is Lagos is not the only state that Okada has been banned in Benin. Okada is banned in Benin for years now. And I think if you're driving within the Benin metropolitan, right, you have this sense of a kind of freedom, because these people, they used to constitute nuisance as well. So there's no amount of regulation that you bring into the industry. These people just seems to find a way not to abide by those rules. So I think the right thing to do is to kind of say, okay, you know what? Even if you're not going to have a total ban around the state, you can limit the apply to some certain areas where you know that it won't be a problem for a lot of people. I think I kind of agree with that decision. And if you look at our society as in general, we can use poverty as an excuse to some certain level, to some certain extent, but
Mm-hmm.
we must not use it every time when there's an issue. We point to poverty. There are poor people who don't commit crime, and we are doing a disservice to those people. There are people who are poor, who do honest work, and they try to survive by whatever they have at the end of the day. So when people like that are living in the society, and then they see people who try to cut corners, who try to break the law, try to then use the same situation that they are going through as an excuse. It doesn't work like that. So we should not be using poverty as an excuse at all time. We understand that the society is not good. We understand that it is not working for the average citizen. But using it as an excuse for criminality, we should not always accept it. It is not the right way to go. Riding an Okada is not an issue, but it should not become a situation whereby other people can no longer have some sense of belongings in the society again. Thank you very much, my sister.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hakim. I think you made a very, very valid point on that. Thank you so much. Brother Nice, thank you for joining us today. Madam Rita, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, good afternoon to Brother Nice and Madam Rita. Sorry, guys, I have to leave now. Thank you very much for having me, Kashi. And
Afternoon.
hopefully, I promise you, your next show, I will try and stay with you all through. I
All
really,
right.
really
Thank
appreciate
you so much.
your work. Thanks a lot.
Thank you
All
so
right, thanks,
much.
guys. Bye.
Bye.
All right, but Mr. Ken,
Brother
Abi
Nice
Akim.
and Madam Rita, thank you so much for joining us today. I don't know if you have been listening to the show, and
Yeah,
I don't
very
know
yeah,
what we're talking about.
yeah. I have I think I started in the beginning, then I went off and I came back again. And I think based on what I'm seeing on the screen, first of all, good morning. Sorry for
Good
my
morning.
manners. Good
Yes.
morning, everybody. And
Good morning.
I want to say welcome, Kachi. I am very happy that you are anchoring this show today. Welcome to the family.
Thank you so much.
Um, okay, yes, I think for the last part, I think Irene explained to me, we're talking about insecurity and then joblessness. Going by what my brother Hakim was explaining. This is something that I think I've said it in this show before. I said truth and hunger cannot live in the same house. In the same
Mm,
way, when you have joblessness and hunger, you do not expect people to be honest. You do not expect the society to be crime free.
mm,
So we should expect all kinds of vices. Would
mm,
come to society when there's joblessness and when there's high rate of poverty. Um, you know what? I think in every governor, right? Every governor of every state, they have, in case people don't know, they have security briefing maybe on a daily basis or every 48 hours or every week. So when it comes to security, when the governor of a state makes a decision, know that it is it was based on his security briefing, and I think that happened during the time of former Governor Oshomole, and when he banned bikes within the axis of Benin City. But that doesn't mean that, in Edo North and Edo Central, it wasn't banned. But, there was obviously something going on. And I remember I was in Nigeria at that time, and I saw trailers. I mean, trailers. Actually, at least I think I saw two trailers filled with motorbikes. And the owners of those bikes were Northerners. Because let us take it or leave it. The way Nigeria is, I'm talking about, I mean, can you imagine during the time of Governor Shomi? That was quite some years ago. And the poverty rate wasn't as high as it is now.
now.
And we all know that because of what is going on in the north, insurgency and heavy, serious poverty, there is an exodus of young Northerners looking for food, looking for labor, coming down to the south. So that is the reflex of what we are getting now in the south. Like, if you go around, it's usually people from the northern extraction, the youths, they're all on bikes. And because of the insecurity in the country, there's a whole lot of things going on. And they've become like a menace. I mean, if you drive and they hit your car, if you want to like talk to one of them, they all gather and they possibly might even die in the process. So because there's a lot of anger and hunger in the land. So any little thing can just spark a whole generation of northern youths now that are angry and hungry, and they'll just kill without even thinking what they're doing. So that's the best decision Governor Sanwo-Olu made, in taking out the bikes. I know it's a source of living for some people. It's a source of living. But
Mm-hmm.
um, when people are constituting a nuisance, it can affect your source of living. That's the truth. I mean, there was a time in Benin City, for example, prior to Oshomole banning the bikes, apart from even being kidnapped, they were robbing people at night in certain area. They will be towing the bike and you're walking, they may just snatch your bag or they just snatch your phone, or some of them, they may just even shoot you or do something or stab you and just go away. It was so rampant in Benin. And because of that banning, it helped a lot. So I think the decision Sanwo-Olu is made, I think it was born out of the insecurity or things that are happening that you and I may not be privy to. The security chiefs have briefed him like, this is what's going on in Lagos. Maybe it can reduce the state of crime. And I think that's where he's coming from. He's not trying to make it seem like, I'm not speaking on behalf of him, by the way. I don't think it was born out of being wicked in a certain way. It's security first, because the principal job of a governor is to protect lives and property. So he's dealing with that security aspect in a different way. Now, I don't expect anybody to say, okay, if he's taking food from people, if he's taking job, riding a bike is not really a job, really and truly. If they had to get resort to Pepenake, fine. I mean, that's a form of transportation that every metropolitan city, in fact, any city in the world, would need a form of transportation. Not everybody that can have a car or can afford to buy a car. And we all know that because of the traffic situation in Lagos, the bike transportation system has helped a lot. There's a time that some people even enter the bike just to get to the airport so they don't miss their flight. So if there was no bike in existence, that person would have missed their flight. But I think dealing with it now, and as time goes by, and there's some sanity that has been checked, maybe the introduction of motorbikes can come again, because I know that in Lagos they may have delivery systems like Bolt, and some they actually use bikes, right? So you cannot take it away completely. You can't take it away completely, but because of security, I think that is why Sanwo-Olu decided, like, what, no bikes. I think in certain areas, I'm not so sure. I think it's not like the whole of Lagos, but
Yeah,
certain
like
areas.
six different local governments.
Yeah. So for them to pick those six local government, it means that there's some security issues around that axis that they are trying to help Lagosians.
Yeah,
And
few days ago, sorry to cut you, Rita. I just want to. I think you didn't get the other part we're talking about. The guy on the screen, his name is David Imo. He was
oh,
killed. He was killed some days ago on Admiralty Way by some bike guys over a dispute, a change of 100 naira dispute. That was exactly what happened. That they killed this guy. They beat him up and burnt him, and he died on the spot alongside with two other of his friends, but those ones are still in the hospital but with serious injuries. So that was exactly what happened.
okay, so you see what I said in the beginning of this conversation. A lot of Nigerians are angry, and the influx, and I'm sure, I think I watched a little bit of that video because I don't like to watch gory videos, and I was hearing that the bikemen who beat this guy and murdered this guy, because it's actually murder. It's not even being he was murdered. They
Mm-hmm.
were from the northern extraction. I'm not trying to marginalize the northern people here, you understand, but this is what we're talking about. There's a lot of hunger and anger, because hunger and anger, they are brothers and sisters. It's like bread and butter. When a
Mm-hmm.
man is hungry, he's angry. He can do things that on a normal day he would like, oh my God, did I do that? So a lot of Nigerians are angry, and it is born out of frustration, it's born out of hunger, and it's born out of hopelessness. So anybody or anything that comes their way, they can be very violent. And unfortunately, this guy, is a victim, and it just shows the face of the kind of country we are living now.
That's right.
There is madness in the country. There's madness everywhere. That even the security agencies, even the leaders, they don't even know what to do. In broad daylight, somebody gets beaten like that. Nobody could even hold any of those people.
Hmm.
Nobody. This is broad. This is not even done in the dead of the night. Broad daylight, a person was killed and murdered. A person was murdered, and not until today. We haven't even heard if some people have been arrested. Nothing.
Yes, they
It's just
actually
so.
arrested seven people, seven suspects
But
actually.
yeah, and even that arrest we're talking about, we never see the end of it. He's
Exactly.
arrested. The media houses just, everybody like moves on. Just like case of people that have been murdered in the north. Everybody just, they arrested some people, and everybody moves on. Everybody's forgotten about it. But the family is still mourning. He's still crying. I understand the guy has a wife. It's unfortunate. May he so rest in peace. But
Yeah,
all this is all these things happening. And it's not going to end with this bike incident or the murder of this guy. A lot of everybody is highly tense because it's anger, hunger, abject poverty, and it's going to get to a point in this country until when the youth wake up, they will end up swallowing these leaders. They will swallow them. In fact, for me, let me not make it too long. For me, like I made in the comment section, Nigeria has to divide into the different regions first of all, because we are overpopulated. And if to get the sanity first, let us, like, what, let us make it regional. Then we get the what was it called, the census of everybody in every region. Then we'll now look at, this is what our youth need, this is what they are lacking, this is what, maybe these are the incentives that we need to bring to this our region to improve the lives of people, job wise, creativity wise, especially the Nigerian youths are not engaged. And what everybody sees right now is, I am hungry, I need to make a living. However I make it, I don't care, but I need
exactly.
to eat and I need to feed my family. So until Nigeria goes back to its regional system and everybody aligns with what is lacking in their region and come together and fix it, nothing ain't gonna work. All these things we're doing, arrest, we're still gonna hear one violent, God forbid, this week we hear one or two violent cases again. Something just happened in Bauchi recently. I don't know if people heard yesterday or so. Is it this blasphemous issue again? People are angry. And it can be on religious lines, economic lines. Even people even kill for 100 naira food. This guy was killed for just 100 naira.
100 naira.
So it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. The leadership has failed. They are clueless. They don't know what to do. But the solution for me right now is what I think is we have to sit down and smell the coffee and let us be realistic with ourselves. No matter the policy they bring now, it's not going to work. I'm not trying to be negative. It is not going to work. We need to divide the country into the regional system. Then we know that we are heading somewhere. Thank you. And
Thank you.
then I just want to say that I have to step out right now. So I might still be online watching, but I mean I may just leave the debate right now. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam Rita. You've made a very, very valid point.
You're very welcome, my darling sister. Welcome again. It's good to see a woman anchoring something. All
Thank
power to the women. I'm not a feminist, but I love when women take leadership. Before some people will say she has come again, Mrs. Feminist. I'm not a feminist. God bless you all. God bless Nigeria Watch. God bless Nigeria Watch family. All right,
thank
bye.
you so much. Bye bye, Madam Rita. Thank you so much. Madam Rita right there just made a very valid point. Hunger and anger are like brothers and sisters. When somebody is hungry, they are very, very angry. And at that point, they are willing to do anything just to fill their tummy. Engineer Ken, are you there, please?
Yes, I'm yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So what
sorry.
you?
Mm. I heard what Richard said, and hunger, anger, you know, works together. Yes, that's a fact. But you cannot be hungry to go and kill somebody. That is a
Exactly.
crime. That is a crime. And if you watch those bike riders, they're all Fulanis, they're all S-men. Those guys are militants, they are soldiers. They are those guys are infantry soldier from Niger Republic, from Burkina Faso, from Mali, from Senegal. All those guys are all trained by ISIS. Nigeria is at war. That depositing them every day all over the west, southwest, southeast, all the way. It was only the eastern part that really fought them and drove them out. But apart from there, from Calabar to Lagos, we are in trouble.
Hmm.
We are in trouble. Every day by day, they are dropping them in Ring Road. But some days ago in Benin, I think it's a truckload of them, over 200 of them were in one truck. My brothers is telling me every day that's everywhere in Benin, they are full and it's everywhere. Any completed building, they will take it over. All
Mm-hmm.
our farmlands, they are everywhere. And
That's
these
right.
guys, they are there by themselves, is okay. But they are there with dangerous weapons. They are there with AK-47. And the funniest part of it, the director of DSS all over the 36 states in that country are Fulani. The state commissioners all over the 36 states in that country, they're all Fulanis. All these guys were groomed to this day. 2023 is going to be a war.
Hmm.
We Christians, we don't believe in violence. But right
Okay.
now, we have to go back to the Bible that tells us the kingdom of God suffered violence, and the violent one took it by force.
Take it by
We have to,
force.
we have to be ready. Yesterday I spoke with one of my old secondary school mates, my classmate. We were talking. I asked him, "Do you have a gun?" He said, "No, I can't even hold a gun." I said, "Well, can you hold a cutlass?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Buy plenty of it." He said, "My house is fenced." I said, "That's not an option. Buy plenty of it, hang some by your gates, every entrance to your house, hang cutlass there, hang them, so that anywhere when your house is stretched, when that time comes, you pick it. Go buy bow and arrow, So protect your house and ready to defend your family,
Hmm.
as a man. You have to do that. I don't pray for a thing like that to come. If it come, I'll take my bag to go home and go fight. I'm telling you, because I'm a soldier, I'm ready. Because what I'm saying, yeah, what I'm saying is not fun. This is not fun. Look at Deborah death. Was that hunger? No. These guys are willing to kill. You kill someone because of 100 naira. If Showro, whatever they call it, the state governor can pick their bike, he's supposed to pick all of them up. He's supposed to pick all of them up, treat them like an animal in the prison, and they will bring out the ones that did this job. But he's not going to do it because of the powers above him.
Yeah.
He won't do it. Commissioner of police will not allow it. They will arrest him. They will let him go. They will tell you there's no weakness. Because these people, they're evil, my brother. They're evil, my sister. They're very, very evil. I know them very well. I know them very, very well. The Fulanese are different from the Hausa. An Hausa man does not kill. An Hausa man, before he will kill a goat or even a chicken, he will pray for God to forgive him that he's taking a life. I know them very, very well. Now, the Hausa man does not stay in north. I know them very well. Hausa man does not kill. But the dangerous ones among them are the Fulanis. Killing to them, killing humans to them, even killing a chicken is more better. They value chicken more than humans. Now, the kind of means those guys are committing. The other day, someone sent me a video.
Engineer Ken.
Yeah.
Engineer Ken, Domosa.
Yes,
sorry for interrupting you. I don't want you to make an impression that this show we're having, we're trying to bastardize the Northerners. Or, I know there's a lot of things going on in Nigeria.
No, it is a fact, my dear.
No.
It is a fact.
Sir, yeah, fine. We know, but we also know that we have some people in the South who are murderers. I mean, you have boys who are murdering girls for money, killing them, money ritual and all that. So what's the difference? Murder is murder. You understand?
Yes.
When a human being, death is death, But I understand where you're coming from, but I don't want to make it seem like we're here, we're just discussing about the Northerners and how they are. And the reason why I came back, I was listening to what you were saying. I think everybody needs to listen to this. We all have to be realistic. Or yeah.
I can't hear you. Can you comment?
Rita, we can't hear you, please.
Went to Harvard, universities, and all that.
Come again. Can you please repeat yourself? We can't hear you.
Madam Rita, can you go back again and say what you just said, please? We didn't hear you.
Okay. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, better now.
Okay. I was saying that Nigerians need to know this, and I think some people also know that. When we, the Southerners, we send our children to schools like Harvard or University of Benin, University Unilad, UI, and all that. You know what the Northerners do? The Northerners send their children to the Army school, the Army Defense School headquarters. They send their children to the police academy. So going down the years, as time goes by, you will see that just give them 10 years, 15 years, they go high in their ranks. And so that's why when we in the South are saying, oh, all those people are, they're putting Northerners in the Navy, the Army, the Air Force, check it out. If you ask that person, if you have anybody in the Army, any relative or a friend in the Army, they will tell you that the number of Northerners who are in the security agencies, they are like 90% compared to the Southerners, because the Southerners think the book will help them, but the Northerners are smart enough to train their children starting from the low level and just give them 10, 15 years. 10, 15 years. They'll get to be colonel, major general, brigadier general, and then everybody wakes up and says, oh my God, all the Northerners are taking all the position. Tell me, if in that rank, if you look at the first 5 ranks now, let's say whoever the chief of army staff is now, and you now look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe only one Southerners will be amongst them. The rest of them are Northerners because they started from like in the 80s. They didn't go to school, but they putting their children. They were putting their children in. No, listen, sir. We in the South, we need to realize something. You see this man, is it El Rufai or former Emma of Kanu, when his son was entered the police force? That guy is going to be the IG of Nigeria. Just give him the next 10 years. But what do the Southerners do? If you go to Abuja, I'm talking from my personal experience. If you go to the federal capital, Abuja, all the federal ministries, all the Northerners who took their children abroad to do masters, they fixed all their children in the federal ministries, and you give them 10, 50 years, they'll be head of different ministries. That is what they're doing. But what are the Southerners doing? So we should not come and start complaining. Oh, all this, all taking all the security. Oh, look at all the police people we have now. It's only recently you see, some Southerners putting their children in the police force. They're not realizing, some of them, not all, they're not realizing, let me fix my children. Even if there's connections in Nigeria to enter NDA, is connections. But the Northerners have more influence, and they started this like in the 70s. And that's why we have a lot of influx of high-ranking Northern leaders, because they didn't start today. They started more than 40 years ago, and they are putting their children. It's not a Rufai or this man has just put his son a few years ago before he got married in the police force. And the more educated you are, the more high-ranking. And tell me, that guy in 10 years time will be the IG. It's only the Igbos that you see that are actually in the Nigerian army. The South region, we know they do that one. What do they do? We they go abroad now. We they do master, we they speak English, we teach for university. Meanwhile, the Northerners are putting their children from the 70s till today as we speak. They're having a lot of children. They're putting, because they cannot afford university. So okay, go to police academy, go to the NDA. The Emma will sign for them. The Sultan will sign for them. The local government, the government will sign for them to enter the NDA. So we should not complain. So that's what I wanted to make the correction. That Nigerians need to realize, the Southerners especially, why there's a lot of population of Northerners in all the security agency. We don't put our children there. We carry them to expensive school where they are killing our children in boarding house. Meanwhile, the Northerners are putting their children in defense academy and police force. That's it. That's it. Just go to Abuja. Go to the federal ministries. All their children that did masters, you see, they're 23 years old, 25 years old. Give them 10 years. They'll be heading all the ministries. What are we doing? So that's the reality of it all. So we should not complain that they're head of security. We should not complain. We're not even doing it with our children. How many of us here want our children to enter the army or the police force? How many? None. That's the truth.
That's the truth.
That's the truth. So my dear, I have to leave now. I just heard what Engineer K. I just needed to tell Nigerians this is the reality. And we have to face it, and we have to deal with it in a civil way, so that, we can, but Nigeria has to separate to the different regions. That's where we are today. We have to. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Rita. Thank you so much.
Okay, can I answer what? Can I contribute to what she just said?
Yes, Engineer Ken, please contribute.
Okay, what she said was true. It is real. But the thing is this: we, the South, we don't support our own kind. I remember back in the days in NDA, I was once a cadet. You know that every state pays their students in the first academy all over Nigeria.
And what did you say, please?
I said I was once a cadet from Defense Academy. NDA.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm a product of cadets. I love it, so much. But guess what? Every government pays their cadets and support them every month with money. But we from the South and Southwest, we don't get that from our own people.
Oh.
Our government takes that money and puts in their own pockets. But the Northerners are getting paid. pay them, they encourage them. When you see your own brother that speak the same dialect with you in the force, either in the police, in army, in navy, anywhere, when you talk to them in your own dialect, they'll be speaking English for you. Sometimes they will use you as an scapegoat. But an Hausa man or a Fulani man, will never do that. They will never do that. They will protect his crime. The only man from Benin that was doing a good thing when he was in police was Tony Aneni. I remember a friend of mine who is retired now, he's a police officer. He told me that when he was in police academy in Lagos, that when Tony Aneni was a commissioner, he came, when they were recruiting them. Then in their recruit ground, he would tell them, Saduwa, Saduwa. Saduwa means like chest up. So anyone that does it, chest up with their chest up, they will know for sure that that is an Isha man or that is an Edo man. He will tell them, come and see me later. And he will make sure that you get into the academy. That's why till today you have more Isha men and women in the police force. 90% was done by Tony Aneni. In my family, I have 2 generals in my family. I don't want to call names. I have 2 generals. I mean general, 5-star generals. But ask me, who did they put after them? None. The same thing in the ministry. If an adult man is the head of any institute, it will be a hostel to any adult man that want to come in there. It will make sure you don't get in. But you see him granting favor to every other tribe that are not his own kind. Why the Northern, the Hausas, or the Fulani will protect their tribes? They will protect their kind. That is why you see them glamoring in all these things that they are doing. Look at our state the other day. Our so-called governor has the infantry to even tender to the House of Assembly that they want to give out 20% of our lands to the Fulani killers, to the S-men. But you know that these guys are killing machines. So what will you call that? Will you tell me that's a man that loves his people? Will you tell me that's a man that cares about his own people, about his own family? No. So this is our problem. This is our problem. And it's been passed from generation to generation. So we have to stand up and fight this thing. Thank God that some of us that have not seen what is going on, we have to fight against it. Our people, we have sold our birthright. We have sold our birthright to money and power. And that power, we don't have it anymore. The power is gone. So before this problem will stop, and before this problem can be revived, there has to be a revolution. It is not a revolution with mouth or pen. It will be a revolution with gun. Without doubt, Nigeria will not see the daylight. and we are not ready. But the Fulanis are ready. The Hausas are not ready. The Hausa doesn't exist anymore. The Fulani have caged them. They have caged them. So it's a very, 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 very big problem when we are at war, a deep one. These guys knows everything about us, even more than you. They are just waiting for that call.
So, Engineer Ken, do you think the
Yes.
Fulanis are more patriotic? Because
Yes,
there was a comment I just left on the screen right now. Someone said the Northerners are more patriotic. Once they go
yes,
abroad to study, they always come back, and we keep complaining that they are ruling us.
they are very, 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 very patriotic. Serious one. I remember some years about 15 years ago. I asked my younger brother to buy me Shia pepper, and he brought me a Ghana must go bag for Shia pepper. I asked him, do you think I want to open up a Shia a Shia restaurant? It was like
Hmm.
a Palmist elder, an elder. I went to place. This Fulani man is selling Shia pepper, and I only just tell him, Alaikum salam alaikum, say Ami alaikum salam alaikum. Yeah, kaswa nobody Allah.
And that was
You know. So and that was it. He said, okay, I'm going to the US, and I just need a small bag of Shia pepper. The man get that small bag was like nearly like 50 or 100 naira at that time. Small bag. The guy gave me Ghana Muslim bag of
of
Shia
Syria.
pepper. It was like, I'm sorry, this is too much. He said, no, take it to America, give to our brothers.
Can you
The gift
imagine?
to our brothers. So he thought maybe my kid brother was an announcer man or a Fulani man because he just speak announcer language that I just spoke. So he gave me a Ghana Muslim back and he brought it down to the US. So give to my brothers.
Yes. Mhm.
So if it was to be you and I, as we hear that word America, oh my dollar will increase the price.
Yes, so that's very correct. That's very true.
We will increase the price.
That's
If
very
you just
true.
sold for 10 naira, I will tell you it's 100 naira for that. Whereas
Yes,
a
so
100
don't worry,
naira,
they come from abroad.
you come from abroad. Abroad, get abroad, you come from America, where dollar they go for two.
That's
You
right.
know?
That's
So
right.
this is not good. Those kind of satanic ideas, has to be changed.
Hmm.
It has to be changed because it's setting us backward. Setting us backward is a very, very big problem.
Okay. Thank you so much, Engineer Ken, for that
You're welcome.
contribution. Your section is very educative. Please always endeavor to join me whenever I'm on live. Thank you so much. I'll get back
Definitely.
to you shortly. Alex
Okay.
is on screen. Let me get Alex.
Which of
Alex,
the Irish? The one that is
good
owing me money.
good afternoon, Alex. Hello, Alex. Are you with us, please?
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody.
Good
Can you hear me?
afternoon, Mr. Alex. Yes, we
Yes,
can
you
hear
can
you.
hear the mouth from Amagba. Yes, Amafadon.
Yeah, Amagba is fine. Thank you. Thank
God
you,
bless
Thank
everyone.
you,
you.
Mr. Alex, for joining us today.
Yes, I greet you, Engineer Ken. I greet you, moderator. I greet everybody on the comment section. I greet everybody viewing from everywhere around the world.
Thank you, Mr. Alex. Please, where are you joining us from today?
From Benin, Amagba,
Okay, you're
Jare,
welcome.
Jare
You're,
extension. So
you're welcome. I
I
don't think we've been following what we've been talking about?
Yeah, I've been on the background watching, so I needed to just contribute if I'm given the opportunity.
Oh, please go ahead.
It's a sad one. I just want to jump straight to my own postulation, my own solution. You know, sometimes when we talk, people say we are too aggressive. People say we are too, we are like warmongers. But like Ms. Rita said, Nigeria is overdue for a breakup. You know, my sister works in Scotland Yard. She gave me very, very classified information, and one of them, this one I can say, the rest I cannot say. She said, from the information she gathered from the United Kingdom, Nigeria is long overdue for breakup because these are territories, kingdoms that were forcefully joined together or amalgamated. These white folks came as missionaries, traders. We gave them hospitality. They came later as explorers. Later, they now came as invaders. During the process, Benin was invaded. Our Oba was taken away to Calabar. They looted everything, which they are bringing back now, slowly. And before they now brought Nigeria as a country, they negotiated with the Northerners. They negotiated with the Fulani, those in the north, and they were lackadaisical. They were reluctant. They weren't ready, but they were giving some promises that you are going to dominate these people. They have rainforest. Then agriculture was the main thing. So, but you are in the desert. You need them. So part of the promises were that you are going to continuously rule over them. So it's not this was what Ojukwu stumbled upon in 1967, that he called for a breakup. He tried. He held Nigeria to a standstill for almost 3 years because he saw some things. Because he schooled abroad. He read some of this information. Some of them are in the British House there in London. They are there in Buckingham Palace. So Nigeria does not exist in reality. We are a group of people with different kingdoms, different empires. We are the Oyo Empire, Kanuri Empire, Benin Empire, a lot of empires. Jaja of Opobo, Oba of Benin, Oba of Lagos, wherever. They are all kingdoms. They were brought together. We are not one. That is why you see hostilities. And the Northerners now, Ojukwu saw it and told Obafemi, Chief, sir, let us go. The Malams are coming. Let's divide it. The country was divided peacefully. Ojukwu claimed he was betrayed by the Yorubas. That's a story for some other time. I'm trying to tell you the root of this problem. The root of this problem is that we are not one. It's time we go our separate ways. They have their culture. They have their culture of killing.
Can I ask you a question, please?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Sorry for cutting you. You know, do you think we are patriotic enough to stand individually? Because Engineer Ken said something. Just because he spoke a little bit of Hausa here and there, he was given more than what he requested for. So do you think that we have the same attitude of being our brothers' keepers in the south and in the east and every other part apart from
My dear sister, these are the fallouts of the overstaying as Nigeria. We are very patriotic, but necessity, conditions, like the struggle, the survival of the fittest has led us to different character, different idiosyncrasies, different manners, strange attitude we must come up. It's just a way to survive. Let me tell you, if you check historically, because you cannot solve a problem from the leaf and the stem, you have to check the roots. Benin, South, Yorubas, they were welcoming people. They were hospitable people. They were patriotic people. But they were destroyed and forcefully joined together. Don't you get it? And these are fallout. A lot of things, a lot of water have gone under the bridge. Benis, Yorubas, Igbos, they have their ways of doing things. They entertain visitors. They love themselves. The harshness of life has led people to what they are today. You can't continue to blame people for what they have become when you made it difficult for them to live as human beings. So the leaders themselves play these cards with the British, who has continued to back them. Why did the British corporation, the way they investigate other crimes in the whole world, why have they not investigated the Lagos Lekki toll gate killings if they are not the ones who gave that phone call, who masterminded this? So I'm not blaming outsiders for our problem, but the root of the problem is in Buckingham Palace. And we need radicals that will rise up and clean the system. We need radical. Ojukwu tried his best. Ojukwu did it for almost 2-3 years, but he lacked the international power to carry it to the end. He tried to hold Nigeria for more than 2 years. It's not a joke. So the major problem is that Hausas, the Fulani, they are not like us. We are not one. Nigeria being one is fake. It's a mirage. That was why when the war was raging in Ghana, international body organized that Gowon should meet with Ojukwu. That's both leaders from both sides. They met in Aburi. They agreed that there should be a confederation, which is restructuring. A confederation is a system of government with powerful regions and weak center, where the centers can only serve as a ceremonial head to receive visitors and minor duties, while the major powers are given to regions to develop themselves. But Gowon, being not educated, agreed. When he came back to Nigeria, Britain radioed from Buckingham Palace. I have documents to this effect. What have you signed in Aburi? And Ojukwu came to Nigeria and said, on Aburi we stand. But Gowon turned it around, and the war continued for about another 1 year or so. So the point is this: the Fulanese now they've realized that oil has come. They are now reluctant to leave. They are not. Just last week they came out to say we are not scared of breaking up. Breaking up is the only solution. We are not one. We have different food, different thinking, different religion, different belief, different way of behaving. We are patriotic. They made us who we have become today. So they are the ones at the helm of. They are the ones at the helm of governance or whatever. Listen. Let me tell you. Yeah, I'm not going to agree with Miss Rita here. These guys intentionally, purposely, they don't allow any other tribes to go into certain posts in the military. I have friends in the military too. They don't. Once your name is not an name, they have a way of reducing your rank, delaying your promotion, and they have a way of quickly promoting their own so that they can use them for future use to dominate the rest of the country. So the major solution right now is not really election, even if I said Wike is the man or whatever, but the real truth, when I started this platform, the major raw truth that we need is a breakup. He said that through revolution of guns, some heads have to roll who are benefiting from the wickedness, from the bloodletting. Before it was poverty and bad administration, but now it has entered religious dogmatism and massacre. This is not Nigeria anymore. Nigeria that you can no longer travel from Benin to Kanu. Come on, something is not right. And there is always
you can't even travel from Benin to Leon.
So, and now I want to speak to governors, senators who are not from the north. It's time you use your sense. We cannot have a particular set of people dominate us. Enough is enough. House of Rep members, like Akim said yesterday, I was listening and I was happy about that. Our senators, our House of Rep, our governors need to wake up. They should stop collecting money and allowing these Fulanis to kill their own people. We are different people. We don't have the slaughtering of human beings as part of our culture. We don't have it. Maybe they do in their side. Let them go their way. We can still live. It's not up to 10 years. We had Sudan and South Sudan. There was war there, and they splitted in peace, and they are okay now. So countries can split. Country can split and still live together as neighbors. Scandinavia was one big country. They divided into 4 countries or 3 countries or so. I think Sweden and Denmark, and they are still neighbors. So what is he not afraid of? Are they afraid of the crude oil in Bayelsa or Warri? When we were depending on agriculture, on these things from the north, they were talking about derivation. Derive whatever you get from your region, use it to develop yourself. But now it's now federal character. It's now we are one Nigeria. The gold is Zamfara, belong to Zamfara, but the oil in Delta State belong to Nigeria. Come on, who is a fool? And our governors, some of them are just so docile. I'm sorry, I don't mean to insult anybody. Some of them are so parochial. They are so money-minded. They are so carried away. They are so, I don't know, they are so power-drunk. They have been promised different political positions. So, yeah, tell me.
Sir Alex, no more. He's Rita.
First
of all, there's no need for apology in your description of the kind of governors we have in the South. I will take back that It is a fact. It's not. There's nothing to say. I'm apologizing or with all due respect, because we have come to that point where we have to say it as it is,
Yes.
and truthfully and factually. And anybody who doesn't agree, that person is an enemy of progress, as far as I am concerned. There's something that you said. How the northern in the army now, the northern elite in the army, how they kind of like sideline, any officer or any person coming from the south or someone that doesn't have a northern name.
From the east also, especially from the east. Yeah.
Especially for the east, yeah. And I think the last most popular chief of army staff was Ihe Jirika. I think that was the last most popular one. I haven't heard anyone so far, but I need to tell you something. I made reference to in the 70s. That is when the Southerners got it wrong. That's where they missed it. And that is where you see the likes of Babangida, Abacha, what's his name? This former president's brother, all those people. They were there like from the 50s, 60s, even this Buhari. That's where we
Miss
all got
Rita,
it wrong.
Miss Rita, we had Ogbemudia, we had a lot of Yoruba generals
Yes,
too. Some of them were sidelined.
Listen, those were the few, that maybe in the beginning they didn't see anybody to take them to UI, because UI was like the main university that time, or to take them to London to school. They all fell back. Let me go back to the army. At least let me do something. If you check out most of people like Ogbomija, how they entered the army, it was born out of there was nobody to sponsor them to get the education that their mates were getting in UK. So entering the army those days, or in the police, those ones they don't know book. That's why they entered the army. But that we were not thinking far. The Northerners were thinking far. So that is why now they have infiltrated from generation to generation. They have infiltrated all the security agencies. So that is why.
Miss Rita. Miss Rita, yes, I agree with you on that. But are you also aware, according to the International Charter of Association of Nations, that a nation that were brought together can only exist for just 100 years? And if you check it out, from 1914, where the southern and the northern part of Nigeria were joined together, till 2014, that charter has expired, and we are not doing anything about it.
Yes,
the document is in Buckingham Palace. The document is in Abuja or Lagos, the former Nigeria capital, and some parts of the Senate raised it at some point last few years. They swept it under the carpet. We are not one.
My brother Alex, cool down. Don't allow your BP to rise. You should realize that we have Mobutu's, the spirit of Mobutu's in Nigeria, the one that betrayed Patrice Mulumba. There are a lot of them in Nigeria and from the southern extraction, and they're in the Senate, they're everywhere. The British in themselves, they have the spirit of Mobutu as well. Let me tell you something. Somebody made a statement. This is my brother Johnson Imadu. He said the Northerners are patriotic. That is a fallacy. That is a fallacy from the pit of hell. The Northerners are not as patriotic as the Southerners. The Northerners have been groomed. Before even 90s, they have been groomed by Usman Danfodio, Tafawa Balewa. They have been groomed. I repeat, they have been groomed that Nigeria is their El Dorado from day one. They have seen it in their uncles, their aunties, their fathers, their grandfathers, their great-grandfathers. They have been groomed. So that is why any Northerner that takes their kids abroad to do they are repatriating them back. Let me use the word repatriating. They are deliberately repatriating. This is deliberate now, back to Nigeria, because they have been groomed that Nigeria is their own, that all the federal ministries, there's job waiting for them. I just made an instance of my experiences in the federal capital. I said, if anybody go to the federal capitals right now, or if you have anybody that is working in any of the ministry, anyone, if you see, I think level 8 or even level 10 or so, all the children that are there, they're mostly Northerners, and they just came back from the UK or from the US with their masters. Go to NMPC. I did my IT in NMPC. It got to a point, you will start to learn how to speak Hausa. You will start to dress like that. If you go to the North now, if you go to the federal ministries, I have Southerner friends there. Some of them actually even start to dress like them because they now realize the system that's going on there. That it comes to a point where if you don't dress like them or try to talk like them, nothing works for you. That is why I said they have been groomed.
Miss
They
Rita,
have
you
been
are right,
groomed from all generations. That
but
is what we are
but
not realizing. And we think we are
every
smart, going to Harvard and coming to speaking English, and they'll put us in as a
every
FFA. We'll be speaking English in aviation minister and think, the Southerners are educated. Man,
uh,
we are, see, we
uh,
are not as
Miss
educated as them.
Rita,
We're not as smart as them.
yeah, you are right, but
So you cannot blame. Go ahead.
everything that has a beginning must come to an end. The end of these guys have
Yes,
come.
I
It's very
agree.
close.
Nigeria has to. I've been saying it since now.
NSAS was just a tip of the iceberg. Do you know what? If the people took that Babangida must go riots that had his administration to a standstill, if they didn't leave the country, 99% of those people are all in diaspora. They are not parents, they are not grandmothers and grandfathers.
And the ones in diasporas are from the south, and that is what the northern say. Don't
we
mind them,
must
they'll go
visit
abroad now.
we must visit what Ojukwu saw, that Nigeria is not one. The Malams, their way of life, they have children like pig. They can have 100 children, and they don't care how they survive. They want their children to be nuisance.
Alex, I beg. Children are not pigs, I beg. Children are not pigs.
I mean, one man will have 100 children. Is what I mean.
I understand, but I mean, this is a national TM program.
Okay, sorry, but
children.
The way they are not murdering people all over the nation is not a national TV. We are seeing these things.
Yes,
these untrained children that they can't take care of.
I'm going back to the patriotism talk. Sorry, I know I interrupted you. The Northerners are not as patriotic as we think. They are just outsmarting out on the natural resources from the south. Period. When they have most of them, they have properties in the UAE. They have properties in Saudi Arabia. They have properties in Arab nations, even up to Turkey. Why do you think they don't actually? Why do you think they don't invest in so much? They might do, but not so much in countries like North America. Even the UK has been flooded now, so most of them are even careful. So they still retain some of their properties. They use proxy names to cover it up, but they know that they cannot have that same ideology in a place like the US or Canada or even in France. They know that their ideology will be checkmated. So the only way they can express their true self is by coming back to Nigeria, but also investing in Arab nations that have that same ideology. So they're not really patriotic Nigerians per se. In fact, it should be, I said, Northern and Southern Korea. That's how Nigeria should just be. Let them be in the side of Kim Jong-il. You understand? Then we are in the other side. That's just how Nigeria should. But we should go under regional system of government. I think when we start from there, then we'll now start to see if we can have North or Southern Nigeria, or we should just stick with the regional government in order to solve all these problems.
So that is why the regional government will be better. I think the regional government will be better. Yes,
and then we have just like Canada, parliamentary system of government. You understand? That's just it. We have every regional head. You understand? So that is the only way. So no matter if you have 200 Peter Obi or 1,000 Okonjo Iweala, it's still under the Northern Caliphate. They're still under the auspices of the orbit of the Northerners. That is why their children already know. If you listen to when I was in NNPC, if you see oh my God, Nigeria is finished. Nigeria has been sold. If you see the way Northerners talk,
Madam Rita, so what are you saying? So the question now is, do you think Nigeria should be divided?
Yes. Nigeria should divide, go back to a regional system of government. And that is where you can checkmate a whole lot of things. Security, joblessness, religious bigotry, a lot of things can be checked. But they don't want to do that because the Mobutus that are in Nigeria are supporting the modern Mobutus outside, like the British. That's why that's where it's like they just hang us. They crucified us. Now they're killing us small. They don't want to also die, killing us small.
Another question, that I wanted to ask. You've already said Nigeria should divide. You think that's the best position and best solution possible. Okay, I asked a question. I asked Mr. Alex a question, and I'm going to throw that question to you now. I said somebody wrote in the comment section, and I posted it. The person said Northerners are more patriotic than every other tribe. So if other tribes, do you think we have that sort of patriotic belief that makes us, look like our brothers keepers. You think we will be able to stand on our own if Nigeria actually divide?
Definitely. Of course. We can
Madam,
divide, and I still say
can I
again,
quickly say something
the
about that,
Northerners
please?
are not patriotic.
Sorry, Mr. Alex, I'm going to come to you now because you guys are just, talking. I really want us to talk about what we are really talking about here. So, like I asked the question, please, Miss Rita, please, can you please answer that?
Okay, your question was, let me rephrase it. I think you were saying that if we can be able to stand alone, the Southerners, if Nigeria should divide.
Yes, because yes.
Definitely, the Southerners we can come together and, we can survive. I mean, we have everything. We have everything. We have the manpower. We have the technical know-how. We have the natural resources. We can definitely survive. Nigeria, what is holding Nigeria right now in the international scene in terms of being part of OPEC is what's coming from the South. Oil.
Okay.
Even people like Alaji Idimi of Maiduguri, Borno State, he has an oil well. It's always oil wells coming from the South. Just like some other northern elites, which, we all know. But, Nigeria cannot be united as one nation with one mind, and everybody looks at themselves as Nigerians, not Northern, or my name is Miriam, or my name is Babatunde, or whatever. I'm a Nigerian, because that's how we identify. All of us in diaspora say, well, I'm an American, I'm Canadian, I'm British, I'm Spanish, or I'm French. But we need to come to one mind. But the only way to come to that mind for Nigeria to be a united front is for separation. They say when husband and wife quarrel, sometimes it's good for the man to go one side for a while, and then they now recalibrate themselves, and they now see their faults and see where they can come to a compromise, and everybody lives together. So it's that same, the marriage of Nigeria, we have to separate. It's called, death is like separation. We have to die. Nigeria has to die.
You think, and when we separate, we have the capacity to stand on our own.
When we separate, they will not appreciate each other, and there will be a truce. Right now, we are together. There's no truce. We are living in the clouds, and we are dying in the clouds. So the only way to appreciate ourselves and now realize the mistakes of the past, then we can start having discussions or how we can unite or how we can cooperate, as one. But right now, we are not one. Even the way we think. Nigeria, because of Buhari's administration, nobody trusts each. No tribe trusts each other. Everybody's sentimental about everything. If you place this tribe there, so because the man is from the west, we place this one because he's from the north, or because it's Fulani, or because it's Kanuri, or because it's Hausa or Bini. No, see, our mind has already been poisoned. We have to come to reality. Let us be true to ourselves. Is Nigeria united? The answer is no. Even the National Assembly, even talking about Deborah's death, Nigeria is not even united. If you go to the religious leader, Christianity itself, forget Islam, Christianity, Nigerians are not even united. The pastors are not even united. The churches are not even united. The tribes, and even within tribes, are not even united, because everybody is self-serving. Everybody is selfish. Everybody is me, myself, and I.
Can I comment now,
Ms. Rita? Please. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Please, can I comment?
Very valid. Mr. Alex, please go ahead.
Somebody is saying it only works in advanced countries with strong economies. Listen,
yes.
Gambia was once one country. Today, Senegal and Gambia went their ways, and they are okay. Cape Verde is a small country with small population, small economy, with little or no natural minerals, and they are there surviving on their tourism. Go to the Caribbean. There are countries that are not up to 1 million, and they don't even have gas. They don't have nothing. They rely on commerce and tourism. So I don't understand why somebody will be at the convention or thinking that Nigeria cannot survive if they break. Who told you? We can break out 7 countries from this country. 7 good countries.
The Northerners are afraid.
We will be very patriotic.
Yes, it will be patriotic, because looking at where we are coming from, nobody wants to go back there again. You value what you are giving this time. You will be more organized and be more grateful for whatever you get. Okay. I said there are countries that they are just 700,000 in population. 700,000, not 700 million, not 100 million. 700,000, and they still are living well. You must not be like America before you know you are a country. And Nigeria can do better, because there will be good neighbors. They'll be good neighbors, exchanging things, gas, whatever, agricultural ideas, technology. Everybody will go their way and develop themselves. It's like strangers that.
Alex, so your stand
Tell
is
me.
Nigeria should divide, and you think we will stand if we do so?
It's not my stand. It has been my stand since I was born, if I can say that. That has been my stand. And Nigeria does not exist in my mind. It's a group of people who are benefiting from the wickedness and from the suffering of this social or let me say British created name called Nigeria. It does not exist. It's just a business name. So the Nigeria country only exists in the mind of the poor. In the mind of these people and the British is a business deal reached with the Osman Danfodio Canary empires and the founding father those days. And now the North is taking it too far by killing people without accountability. So it's time we visit the books. It's time we open the books that Ojukwu opened. We cannot run away from it. Everything that led to the war is what is happening now. Everything, the poverty, the corruption, the killings, the killings from one section, everything is what led to the war. So even American academia in 2001 predicted that that war was long, done to have come to pass. Good luck averted it. NSAS came, they used gun, but the next one that will come, there will be no escape route for all the senators, all the wicked government officials. Both those who are not in power and those who are in power. I'm not threatening you. This is what is going. They are going to unpick all of you, and something's going to happen. I cannot say that here because the way things are going, you can see it. It's like the biblical decay that the days of Nigeria are numbered. How can a set of people be killing people and governors are happy about it? And you think if there is a war, people are not going to come after governors and senators? You cannot hide anymore. The airport are going to be shut down. The seaport are going to be shut. The borders are going to be shut down. You can't hide. So it's better we start thinking. Don't think you have a house in Dubai. You can't reach Dubai. It will be too late. So it happened in Ghana. Don't say Ghana is a small country. A country of 31 million people is not a small country. It can happen again with the wickedness, the hunger, the starvation, the frustration, the joblessness, the way they are ruling the country, one-sided, governmental positions. I mean, come on now. How long are we going to be like this? How long? We have to divide by peace or by force. Either by peace or by pieces. That's how it is. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Alex. You made a very, very valid point. Thank you. I'm going to go to Chris now. Chris, what do you think? Do you think Nigeria should be divided? And do you think the Northerners are more patriotic than any other tribe in Nigeria?
Okay, thank you once again for this opportunity. First of all, I would like to talk about the fact that we are not actually hitting on the actual thing that we should be hitting on. We all, both Igbos, Hausas, Yorubas, every one of us, we are one thing in common, which is we are humans first before being Hausa or being Igbo. You understand, right? We are humans first. So we need to consider, I don't think we are understanding that enough, because we are actually placing every other thing ahead of this very fact that we are humans first. We are humans. Now, what happened during NSAS should be enough to make us understand that we actually have that ability to stand as one. We have a voice. We can actually do it. We can actually unite as one against this corruption from our leaders up there. We can actually stand as one. You understand? So there is that capability, but we are not actually seeing it. Okay, let me break this down a little bit. Come down to the Igbo land. Come down to Imo State, the East. Actually, we have even the division among us. In Imo State, we have several regions who would during the time to pick a governor. We always have this kind of debate among us to actually determine the area to pick the candidate that will be coming out from. And if that agreement, if that agreement is not followed properly, it could lead to some kind of issue that would escalate even further to whatever God knows. And what I'm simply trying to say is I know that this Nigeria right now is not what we expect it to be. We are not actually where we want to be. But we need to understand that being Hausa, being Igbo, being Yoruba, we all are one thing, yet we all are one thing first before being all these other things. We
So,
all are
Mr.
humans.
Chris, sorry to cut you there. So, are you saying that Nigeria shouldn't be divided?
Yes, my point is Nigeria being divided is not going to solve this problem because
It's
we are
not the
just,
solution.
yes, it's not going to sort it at all. It's not. I am very
Okay.
sure of this because I understand the way humans work. Once you divide Nigeria and you allow the East go their way, the North, the South, and all that, trust me, with time, even within the East, there would be a call for division. I'm telling you this because I know how we all reason. I understand from the experiences I've seen so far in this country. I understand how I've been to the East, I've been to the South, and I'm here in Lagos. Now, somehow. So I've come to understand. Who is that? That sound is disturbing me. I've come to understand that we always place religion, we always place our races ahead of the fact that we are humans first, and that does not work for me. It does not work, and it's not going to work for Nigeria. The fact that you are a northerner does not mean that you should consider only your northern brothers before considering every other place. We have to understand that there are a lot of other things that we need to start considering, which being human is the first thing in it. I don't know if you get my point. We should understand that we are humans, and that is not what we are even talking about. We are not talking about that enough. That's what I'm trying to say. We are not talking about that enough. We are humans, and that should be the number one thing we should even try to consider first.
And do you also think that the Northerners are more patriotic?
Yes, I've dealt with very few of them, and I can say, yeah, I think they are more patriotic actually. Yeah, I've dealt with few of them.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Chris, for that input. We have somebody here, Mr. Bennett Ubede. Thank you for joining us today, Ninja Watch. Mr. Bennett, are you there, please?
Good morning.
Good
Yeah,
morning
I
to
can
you,
hear you now.
Mr.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, Mr. Bennett. Where are you joining us from, please?
Sugarland, Texas.
Okay, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. I don't know if you've been following the show.
Yeah, I think I have some knowledge about what you guys are saying, but I just joined like in 10 minutes ago. So I heard Sister Rita talking and Alex and this other guy. So I think I have some knowledge of what you are saying.
Okay. Please, do you have anything to contribute?
Yes. My take is that Nigeria as a country to start with, I don't think we really know what we are doing as a country. You understand? Because if you let me take a critical example of where I live now in United States.
Okay.
If I leave Texas now and go to maybe Louisiana or Alabama and stuff like that, it will still look as if I'm living in my residence in Texas. You understand? There will be no different. Maybe one or two climate change, and that is nature. You understand? You still feel at home, like you are still I will still feel at home like I'm living in Texas where I reside. So let me go back to Nigeria now. In Nigeria, I'm from Edo State, Benin precise.
Okay. Okay.
When I could remember those days in school, during I think it was during, because I've been to the north once or twice, during in my final year 1999 2000, when we have this strike during the Lucky Grenadian time, that long strike, is it 2000 2001, that long strike that lasted for almost ASU strike that lasted for almost 10 months. I had the opportunity to travel to the north. Man, then you should know that these people, they are not like us. Let's not just hide it. They don't reason like us. They don't think like us. You understand? And at the end of the day, if peradventure that these people, they were the one that owns what the Southern have, man, these people would have broke out from Nigeria since. It's because they are benefiting from us. You understand? They are benefiting from the national cake that the Southern are providing. That is why you see they are still sticking with this name called Nigeria. You understand? So these people, they are not like us. What the British did in the early days, it is just a disaster. That's why Nigeria can never function as one country. You understand? Okay. Another example is that if you look at it now, right now, gas price all over the world, is skyrocketing with some I don't know, with some percentage of it all depends on where you live. Gas prices it's already high.
Yes.
Right in Texas where I live, I think before this Ukraine and Russia war, we're buying gas for $2 something, maximum $3. You understand? And the reason why it's like that, because Texas is the hub of oil and gas in America. You understand? Meanwhile, the same gas that I buy right now, we buy it for $4 something. The same gas I buy $4 something here. If you go to California, you see it for $6 something. If you go to New York, it's $5 something. Why is it like that? Because we're in Texas. Texas is the hub of oil and gas in Nigeria.
Okay.
The reason why no in America, the reason why I'm citing all this example is that in Nigeria, South is the hub of oil and gas in Nigeria. But the same price they sell gas in Edo, Delta, Port Harcourt, you go to Sokoto and the rest, that's the same amount they sell it. Fine, it's like that. But what about what these people produce? Like the tomatoes, the oil, the yam, the cow, and the rest. If you buy a yam for 100 naira in the north, come to the south, that yam will be sold for 1,000. Why is it like that? Because they have to transport it down to the south. We understand the the calculation, but things that comes from our side, why is it that they still sell it the same amount of, so my people, at the end of the day, these people, they've put their foot on our neck for a long time. It is time, the Southerners, the kings, the so-called what's it called, elder statesmen, they should go to the round table and think of how to divide, how to slash the country, because Nigeria is not one. We are not living like one. If not for anything,
So,
just look at
Mr.
what.
Bennett, Mr. Bennett, your stand is Nigeria should divide.
Yes. Absolutely, Nigeria should divide, because we are not one country at all. We are just existing as black people, to just pretend that we love each other. No, look at what happened in Sokoto. If the same thing happened like that in the south, we are smart enough not to take that kind of decision. But these people will do the same thing and just do it, and the government will not even press charges on anybody. You understand? So that's why I'm understand that Nigeria should slash up and everybody go their own way. It will be better for everybody, so that at the end of the day.
And you think we'll be able to stand on our own if we go our separate ways? Do you think we're patriotic enough to be our brothers' keepers if we go our separate ways?
100%, we will. We are patriotic enough. Look at the NSAS protest. Where were the Northerners? Where were the Northern youths? You understand?
Okay.
Where the Northerners? And look at the game they are playing now. Let me just chip this in. I think some people have not done their calculation. Let me just chip this in. We are hearing rumor that Goodluck Jonathan is coming. The ROYU, the Alamajiri, something like that. That's what I heard on the news, that they went to buy the phone for him. These people have a smart calculation that if peradventure Jonathan became the front runner for APC, if Jonathan win the election, Jonathan is just going to rule for 4 years, and they are going to come back. Then they will come back with the calculation their calculation of Obasanjo ruled 8 years. Jonathan have ruled 10 years. It's 6 + 4, 10, which is all the Southerners have ruled for 18 years. They've only ruled for 10 years. What's his name? Buhari and Yar'Adua, 10 years. So they will not have the stand to come in for another 8 years. That is why these people are pressing this, this button for Jonathan to come back. If Jonathan is smart enough, he should just back off. You understand? And the Southerners should stand that, nobody from the south should stand for Jonathan, because that is their calculation. Because once Jonathan come in, Jonathan just going to rule for 4 years. This people will come back in for another 8 years and dominate us. If our generation miss this thing, I'm not sure generation will ever take Nigeria from this, because at the end of the day, these people, they are just oppressing and oppressing and oppressing us. So that's my take, my sister. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bennett. You
Please,
made
can I
a
come in, sir?
very
Please, can I come in, man? Please.
Mr. Alex, okay, go ahead,
Please,
please.
I heard somebody say we are one. I want to say we are not one. We are not one. Tell the British that destroyed Benin Kingdom and took our king away to Calabar and raped our women and looted our palace, destroyed farmers, that we are one. Tell them. How are we human race? How are we human being? How are we one? Tell the Northerners who has impoverished, continuously impoverished Nigerians intentionally, putting their children in sensitive posts of Nigerian governments, who has ignored the call for restructuring, who has turned a blind eye on the massacre of innocent Nigerian people. Go and tell them we are one. Tell them who are borrowing money with our children's name, taking it to Swiss bank. Our debt has hit from 12 trillion naira to almost 60 trillion naira. Tell them we are one. How are we one? Tell them. How are we one? Go and tell those who are talking about taking power again back to the north, bringing back Atiku to come and contest as a Nigerian president. Go and tell them we are one. Looking at the way the country is, there is no electricity and we have leaders. Tell me that we are one. We are all human race. Tell me that we are one. What has a Nigerian child gained from this country? There's no medical care. There's no security. A train was taking passengers. A medical personnel was killed who was to travel abroad for a medical job. Go and tell that woman who is dead that we are one. Tell her in her grave that we are all human race. We are all human beings. Nigeria is not one. We are different people. We are different people with different language, different culture, different way of dressing, different food, and it should be like that. We should revisit those papers that brought us together as one. We are not one. We are different. I want to salute a man. You may hate him or love him. You may call him names. Our media have made us believe that this guy is a devil. Nnamdi Kanu, I salute you wherever you are in jail. You are a prisoner of conscience. I understand you read some books I've just read. The books that General Ojukwu also stumbled upon. That the British Royal Niger Company, owned by the they deal with these Fulani men to continuously make them from a country's rights was violated with dual citizenship. A British passport holder was kidnapped, bundled back to Nigeria. Until now, there's no justice for him. Tell him that we are one. We are not one. We should be divided. We can live together as neighbors. So we are not one. People are benefiting from this poverty, from this electrical darkness, from this lack of. Go and tell our Nigerian students who have been at home for a long time now, without going to school, that we are one. Go and tell our senators who are so wicked, whose children are schooling abroad. Go tell our children who are at home, who are watching this government people's children graduating from their schools and they're at home. Go and tell them that we are one. We are not one. The selfishness, the wickedness of our leaders, how does that make us one? So, my dear brother Chris, I respect you, but we are not one. Igbo and Hausa and Bini, we are not one. We can be divided, have different colors of flags, different boundaries, different currency, different anthem, and still live as human beings as you claim. So we don't need to be killed, need to be impoverished, need to be oppressed, suppressed, marginalized, ostracized. 15,000 doctors are leaving Nigeria every 6 months. Go and tell them we are one. How are we one? Please, this is why I came back. We are not one. We can never be one. We need to divide this country. The business deal with the British men and women in Buckingham Palace is over. It's over. When you are consuming an expired product, you're going to be sick. Nigeria has expired. It expired 2014. So we are tired. People can't even go to farm again in Benin City, in Edo State. And some governors are playing puppets to these Fulani killer machines in Abuja. We are not one. Monies are just going to exchange hands every day and every time. Our senators, our rep members, our governors are just giving us speech upon speech for 8 years, for 7 years, for 4 years, and we are quiet. We are saying we are one. We are not one.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Alex. Thank you so much, Mr. Alex. Thank you. I believe your point has been made very, very clear. Thank you so much. We have somebody here, Midwest people and Tiobala. Thank you so much for joining us today. Mr. Midwest, please, where are you joining us from?
Yeah, Good evening, madam.
Good
And
evening, Mr. Lee.
good evening, my fellow panelists and listeners and viewers. So,
Good evening
you
to you.
asked me a question?
I said,
You
where are
said
you
what?
joining us from? I
Mr.
said,
Midwife.
I'm joining from Sweden. I'm
Mr.
joining from
Midwife.
Sweden.
Thank you
Mr.
so much.
Midwife.
Yeah, I'm
Mr.
joining from
Midwife.
Sweden. Are you
Mr.
hearing me at
Midwife.
all? Yeah?
Yes, we can hear you perfectly.
Yeah.
Thank you so
My
much for
sister, hold on
joining.
a second. Mr. Midwife.
Yes, sir.
Have you paid your due?
You said what?
I mean, you have not paid your due.
No, I haven't.
Okay. So see me later.
Okay, who is talking?
Engineer Ken.
Engineer Ken is talking, please.
Okay, sir.
We're gonna charge you for coming late.
Okay, sir.
Please go ahead, Mr. Midwife.
With the topic, my brother, for me, is look as if we are already at war and our people are not serious. Though people should pray because the kind of governor we have, if anything happen, I don't think it's capable to mobilize us to defend ourselves. Now you look at this country, the people that were really sincere to this country are the Benin, which I call the Midwest region people or the Bender people. All they want was a place where black men can live together, irrespective of color, history, culture, differences, but a situation whereby we can live and build upon things that make us similar, things that connect us. But it's very unfortunate along the line we were betrayed. The Hausas, the Yorubas, the Igbos, they created Wazobia. And this Wazobia was an occult. It's an evil to make sure they silence the idea of recognition or the four region which our ancestors agreed upon in the southern part of Nigeria. When you look at the map they are drawing today, they always, if you look at Nina, they don't recognize Benin. If you look at the Doduwa generation today, because they are still riding on that mentality of Wazobia, which is very dangerous. If you are pointing to the Fulanis that they are bad, watch back and watch your people carefully. You will understand if these people were really good, Fulani will not be using us today. History make it clear. The Fulani never asked for 20% of scores for their children to go up. It was the Southern people who fight to them. They wanted to live on their own. Forget about this useless history. They want to conquer you. No. They said they don't want Nigeria after independence. Now, my major worries now is this. Your governor have collected money, which is not announced, and these people are determined to enforce it. That is why they are using trailer to start packing their people to Benin. Now, I will tell you, these Okada people, the nearest place, if it's too hot for them, they will locate Benin. Why? Because of the governor we suffer for, we labor for. Now, you don't talk about security. You don't see, have you seen your governor talking about security issue in Edo State? He doesn't care.
No.
Now, when you talk, many Benin people will tell you, Wamage governor winner. My man, this governor is very clear. In a traditional level, he has no relationship with these people. Before, they will lie that they are pumping our money to these people. He has no relationship with them. He doesn't give them anything. That one is clear. Perhaps what belongs to them, maybe from federal or that source, they used to finance the institutions. Now, that one is clear. Look at anybody who is supporting him. Nobody. So the money is with him. What are you doing with the money? We are just in the middle of a storm. You hear of Rwanda genocide, you hear of this one genocide. It's because the people did not prepare. So I'm so worried for my country, because when I look at what happened in Sokoto, what happened in Abuja, and what is going on in Lagos today, it means the keg of gunpowder may light off anytime, because nobody is ready to bow down as far as this forthcoming election is coming. The Yoruba have learned their lesson, but I pray for the Yoruba youth to come down with sincerity to the certain people to say, let us do things together. We are one. Our leaders has made a mistake. We can sort this out. Let's unite the South and make it a good place. Then we will listen. We will build on things similarities that we have. But
Okay,
if we
Mr.
continue like this,
Midwest.
right? Yes.
Okay, Mr. Midwest, I just have a quick question for you before we move to the next person, please. What is your stand? Nigeria should divide or shouldn't divide?
See, we are, if it's two options. Number one is this: if you restructure Nigeria, I tell you, Nigeria may likely work. The reason is this: when you restructure a country, the federal government will now expect the state to manage whatever, whether natural resources.
Okay, we lost Mr. Midwest. Mr. Midwest, are you there, please? Okay, we have
production.
Mr. Midwest, are you there, please? Okay, we lost Mr. Midwest there. We have Tiobala. Thank you for joining us today, Mr. Tiobala. Where are you joining us from, please?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Mr. Tiobala. Thank you for joining us. Where are you joining us from, please?
New Jersey.
Okay, thank you so much. I don't know if you've been following the show.
I just came in not quite long, though I'll be a regular member of the platform.
Okay.
I think if you can still go on with other persons, let me just give the background for
Okay, that's fine. Thank you very much, Mr. Tio. I have Prince Adewale. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Prince.
I think you lost me there.
Mr. Prince, can you hear me, please? Okay, well, back to you, Mr. Midwest. Can you hear me, please? Mr. Midwest, can you hear me, please?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I don't know what is happening to the system. Are you hearing me too?
Yes, I can hear you
Hello?
loud and clear. I can hear you loud and clear.
Madam, are you hearing me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. Okay. As I was saying, we need a government that believes in transparency and accountability, and you can never achieve it under this circumstance that we find ourselves. So therefore, the only thing Nigeria can produce is corruption. So then the second one is, with the way things are going, I will tell you, our politicians may make mistake. They may light up the country. Everybody is so hungry. Nobody is happy. Nothing is working. In that case, some of these politicians can decide to see the vacuum. And if Nigerian youth decide to say today they are so angry and you give them something to defend themselves, they will not hesitate to pick it. Just have that one in your mind, because nobody is stressed about the country apart from the Northerners. Now, we should be sensitive to one thing. The Northerners, the Southerners are the one crying Nigeria is not working. But for the Northerners, it's working, because they only have one agenda, is to take over the whole country. As we speak today, they are in charge of everything. Now they have destabilized their own region. Their youth are coming in massive to the south. To come and do what? After 5 years, they master the land. In the name of one Nigeria, you see them starting planting their Emma, like what Babangida did. Most of the Emma you are seeing today in Nigeria was planted by Babangida. And most of these places were Christian country. And now the people they turned them to what they have turned them to. So I'm so worried. Now, when you have a leaders who are still talking about I'm building hospital for what? Who is going to manage the hospital? Your Ministry of Health is dead. They don't know the number of people. They don't know the number of people they treat last year. They don't know the number of people they have treated so far. How are you going to implement your policy? Your local government, you don't even know. The doctors, they don't go to the hospital. There is no digital equipment to know who are working. So they stay in their private hospital and they abandon the hospital, and you tell me you are building it for. The thing that killed the hospital was is a virus, and that virus is corruption. What have you put in place to check it? Nothing. Because our people don't think over all these things. They feel somebody can lie to them. Then you build one thing, you say you want to bring investors. You want Big Gay to leave America to come and stay in Nigeria, or some rich men in Europe or Asia to come and... No. Your Minister of Finance is dead also. How many shops are in a Kiosa? You don't know. You want to invest in a country, people read very well. They don't even know how capitalism works. We are in a black marketism, and they call it capitalism, deceiving our people. In a true capitalism, every shop that sells boutique in Edo, 3 months must tell the finance, Minister of Finance, the receipt that they used to buy those things, whether they are importing direct, and their sales must be reported to the Minister of Finance. Ask me anywhere in the world. In the whole of Europe is like that. So with that, the government can be able to calculate their profit, their expenses, whether they need support. Look, we don't know the name of farmers. I want to ask all these leaders. If the World Bank said these people are suffering, I want to give them money. I want to give Edo people, the farmers. Then who will be the farmers? You got the Minister of Agriculture, they don't have the names of our farmers. So to cut everything short, nothing is working apart from corruption. So, but my question is that our people sensing the changes, because for years you can't compare the administration of Lucky Benejon with what is on ground today. The way things are changed, you can't compare with what Oshomole face. Obaseki is facing a new task. He needs to galvanize himself that these people have elected me. I have to stand for them. All these things they are playing with, if they are not careful with what is happening in Abuja, in Lagos now, because the Fulanis or Ansa see it, they have been, challenged, and they look for alternative. They may start destabilizing the north with the Southerners that live. Don't know where they are coming from. See that in their father. Are you drawing this map? Not to recognize the only region created through democratic referendum. So you see people that surrendered us. It's like we have tolerated nonsense for years. And our leaders are not waking up to tell us, look, Nigeria is not working. We hope our forefathers labor for it. They believe we can build on things that connect. Now it's not working. And not to stop people not to start mobilizing people for it. Our facing existential threat in the hands of their own leaders, of this neighbor. So this is my worry. We're already at it. It's just, thank you.
Mr. Midwest, thank you very much. Thank you very much. But I just have a quick question. Yeah. Can you hear me, please? Can you hear me, please? Okay, I think we lost Mr. Midwest there. Mr. Tiobala, are you ready for us, please? Mr. Tio, are you ready for us, please?
Okay, let me just make my little contribution. Hope you can hear me clearly.
Okay, loud and clear.
Thank you so much for this wonderful work you are doing.
Thank you, Mr. Tio.
It's rather so unfortunate with the way we find the area we find ourselves in this in Nigeria, and it has led many of us to take a wrong decision, doing things we're not supposed to have done, and all that. So I'm still appealing to every Nigerian to take things easy, for us to be able to build ourselves, move things forward in the right direction. The truth of the matter is that some Northerners, or majority of the Northerners, are not happy matters. I don't expect in this kind of scenario, this kind of era, 21st century, whereby we'll still be having this set of people living as if we are in the 18th centuries and all that. And as the other speaker have earlier said, regarding this division of 18, I'm not in support of division, but with the way things is going right now, I have no choice other than to support, because I cannot expect for this kind for this modern war, you not beat person, burn person alive, and destroying people's shop, burning churches, even the Federal Capital Territory. Different things happening out there. Look at Kaduna Road. And just because of small issue, you kill somebody in Lagos, and they feel that they are the owner of this of the country. It's not work. It's not done. It's not what we cry for. It's not what we want.
Okay, Mr. T, I'm going to ask you a quick question, please, because we're going to be rounding up the show in 10 minutes. So I just want to quickly ask you a question.
Okay.
Okay. What's your stand? Nigeria should divide or shouldn't divide?
I'm of the opinion that they should restructure Nigeria,
Okay, not division.
not division.
Okay. Then one more question, please, before I let you go. Do you think the Northerners are more patriotic?
Not a test of patriotism. For me, with their actions so far, it shows they are not patriotic. Because if you are patriotic, you have to, mankind. How can it be killing your fellow citizen? You tell me you are patriotic. You are not, in that case, you are not patriotic.
Okay.
You are not patriotic. And for you to be a patriotic citizen, you must put things in order to better the society. And one of the ingredients of society to be the society is the people. Go and check an average Northerner. They are not working towards that Western education we are clamoring for.
Okay.
You understand? And these are the ingredients of building a better society. What their leaders have succeeded in doing over the years is that they ensure that these people are not educated so that they can penetrate them, use them for all this evil. So if you educate those children, give them a better education, definitely they will realize their senses and start doing the right thing. This is not a bad religion, whether not being a Muslim or Christian. This is not. It's their leader deliberately. My question is that, is there no Muslim in Lagos? Is there no Muslim in Naunchi and all those other areas? Have you been heading and killing people? It's not about religion. It's about those particular sections of the country who refuse to be educated. And the problem of this thing is leadership failure, as they have always said. Leadership failure over the years that led us to this situation we find ourselves. I'm appealing to others, the southern Nigeria, like I listen to, we should rise up to defend ourselves. That's just a simple truth. Whatever thing that is happening, we should defend ourselves. If you watch very well, when Jesus Christ was walking, Peter was with a sword. Just how we are not praying Holy Go, Holy Go. Peter was with a sword. That was when what happened. So you have to defend yourself, my dear people. That's just it.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Tio, for that input. Thank you to my panelists. Thank you to the viewers. Thank you to everybody in the comment section. I really, I am grateful for this opportunity to talk about what we all are facing in our beloved country, Nigeria. It's so sad. It's so sad. What is going on right now is really sad. And I pray the Almighty will keep guiding and protecting us all. Please, if you are here to subscribe, kindly do so. Kindly share our video and please like. The reason why I keep asking you guys to like is so our message will spread like wildfire because of the algorithm on YouTube. So more people can come into this platform and see the good work we are doing here. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day.